We are going to kick things off today. It's been a minute since I've been live. Had a very, very, very sick grandbaby for the majority for all of the last week, literally since last Saturday. So appreciate you guys for hopping in here. And so let's have a conversation. Let's see what you guys want to talk about today. It has been a minute. Salam, Alam. Hey, Lavonda. Good to see you. What's up, Ginger Snaps? Hey, 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 Conchita. How are you? Hey, Linda. Cheryl. What's up? Hey, Flying Nana. What's up, Kimber? Missed you guys. Hello. It has been a minute since I've been able to go live and be with you guys. As you all know, Mila has been pretty sick, so she's doing better today. Hey, Doug. So we are waiting. Hey, Carla. We're waiting on the rest of her lab work and stuff from yesterday. But she's oh, love that, Cheryl. Love that. Hey, Endo Moon. So yeah. So what's up, Candy Kiss? Yeah, Mila has been really, really, really under the weather. We spent 5 hours in the emergency room in the hospital the other day. She had to have IVs and all kinds of things, and so yeah, so it's been a really rough past 6 days. But she's doing okay. She's appreciate that, Bobby. She's at her mommy's right now, and so I decided to go live. What's up, Beach Bum Wannabe, and do a little catching up. I have a couple of things that I do want to share with folks, and she did, Candy Kiss. She did phenomenal. I was really proud of her. Hey, Lynn, how are you? What's up, Grammy? All right, so folks, listen. If you are watching me anywhere other than TikTok, say hi in the chat. That way I can greet you. Appreciate it, Zoe, because I can't see you when you join until you say hello. If you join me on Substack, I can't see your chat at all, which I hate, but it's true. And so I'm glad that you're here, that you're watching, but that's it. There are some things that I want to talk about today specifically. I found a really great really, really. Oh, thanks, Celia B. You heard me on Sirius XM. Hey, Irvette. Um, so I found a really great video that explains beautifully in simple terms what's happening with the bonds and the buying back of the bonds and the debt and all of that. So I do want to share that with you guys. Hey, what's up, WJK? So I want to share that with you guys so that you all know, and then I want to talk about just some. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jerry, I'm good. How are you? And so I want to talk about that, but then I also want to talk about just some of the misinformation that's out there and the way that it's being used by political candidates when it comes to unauthorized immigrants in the country or even illegal immigrants in the country. Along with some other things, specifically a post by Marshall Blackburn that was really, really misleading. Hello, Moo. And so I want to talk about that. And so there's a couple of things, and so we're gonna kind of get in here for a little bit today, and it's crazy. Why is it saying try to say something? I am saying something. Damn it. So hey, Equator. Hey, Letty. Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you as well. Yeah, Marsha's horrible. Hey, Rose. Good to see you as well. So we're going to be in it for a minute today, so that we can have some really in-depth conversations. I tell you, one of the things that's irritating my soul is all of the racial debates on TikTok. Um, I am wondering if people are not falling for the okey doke and focusing on the distraction in order to not talk about policy, right? Why didn't I open the live stream on Friday? Because my granddaughter has been sick. Abu Nahid. So, Glenn Knowles, actually, that's not correct. And if you want to come up and talk about it, we can do that. We absolutely can. Because here's what I will tell you. Glenn, is I can play a clip for you right now of Bibi Netanyahu saying that that he doesn't want a two-state solution at all, and he specifically says from the river to the sea, right? No, Veronica, I'm talking about all of the racial debates about whether or not Black people can or can't be racist. All of the debates about, you know what I mean? Like all of those different things where it's just a lot. And I'm wondering if, I think that there definitely is a need for some of these conversations. I also wonder if like now is the time, right? And so I think that what this administration has done is they have used that race card a lot to make people be all up in arms over race issues, right? Like them taking the name of a Black World War II veteran off of a something and putting up to put up Trump's name, and you know, so part of me wonders, are people falling for this conversation around culture war issues and things like that, so that we don't focus on the policy and the very real things that people need to be voting on, right? These are the things that we need to be voting on, policy and issues. And we have 73 days until the damn midterms. And so I'm just wondering if, yes, it gets you a shit ton of views. Hey, Amy, yes, it gets you, you know, people engaged in all of that. And I don't know, is it benefiting us? I think we can do both. I just wonder, are people doing both? And from what I see is there's not a lot of both happening. And so it's just one of those things that that I just wonder, are we getting sidelined and not staying on task, like right where we are? You know what I mean? Hey, Jeff, good to see you. So yeah, that's just me airing my thoughts and saying, okay, so I just wonder if this is kind of taking us away from where we might be better served at the moment. What's up, Abdul? Okay, Moo, do me a favor. Can you not type in all caps for me? So for those of you guys that might be new to me, let me just give you kind of a little bit of the groundwork. I only ask for 4 things in this space. They're up on the graphic so that you can see that. I ask that people be respectful. Don't use slurs of any kind. I don't care who you are and who you're mad at, what side of the aisle or anything else. No slurs in this space. Don't spam my comments. In other words, say something. Don't say it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And last but not least, don't type in all caps, because all caps are reserved for my moderators and my folks that are vision impaired. I have folks in my community with visual disabilities, and so it is reserved for those individuals. And so, yeah, just be respectful of those folks. So, Ribbon, yes, the answer is yes, I served in the military. Only one part benefits from race wars instead of a class war. I don't know about that, Dennis. And here's what I will say. I think that and I don't, when I'm talking about racial discussions, I'm not talking about a race war, right? I'm talking about a lot of the debates that are happening on TikTok right now. Hey, Pen 1010, good to see you. Hey, Lucid, how are you? There's a couple of things up here. Okay, so one, you will see the Israeli / United States of America flag. You will also see me saying there is no ceasefire in Gaza, because there hasn't been. And last, you see Jesus would not support President Trump, war, ICE, genocide, or grifting. And so, yeah, like that's what I think. The other things that are available for conversation are our new levels of debt, right? $40 trillion in debt, which has prompted the buying back of our bonds by the Secretary of the Treasury. We're going to talk about that. The absolute affordability crisis that we are having in the United States of America, a losing war with Iran, right? Which we definitely are in. Civil rights violations. And so there's 2 parts to that. I mentioned this the other day and it bears repeating. I'm not sure how many people know that we have a Mexican journalist in ICE custody in a detention center who had charges levied against him. Those charges were thrown out by a judge, and he is still sitting in a detention center, which is just crazy. For over 300 days, we have kept a journalist in detention center, which is absolutely crazy. This is the United States of America. Things like that aren't supposed to happen here. Notice I said supposed to happen, right? And then we're going to talk about being complicit in war crimes. And then we're going to talk about the United States of America enabling genocide. So there's a lot up here. And like I said, I'm down to have conversations with anybody, right? And so the question is very simple: is this the America that you desire to have? Right? That's the question. And I can tell you that for me, I don't think it is for me, right? Yes, be action, definitely. Yeah, so Stephen, if this is the America that you would like to have, then feel free to come up and chat about it if you want to do that. And if you don't do that, that's fine too, right? I think that, so listen, I am not going to be upset if someone comes in this live and says, Salam Abu Saraj, and someone comes in this live and says, yes, this is the America that you want. Okay, well, I mean, I don't understand that. I don't know why you would want a United States of America that has new levels of debt and high prices and, involved in a war that we are not winning, or one in a country where you have civil rights violations and we are complicit in war crimes. I don't know why that would be the type of country that you would desire for us to be. But if that is you, right, I'm not going to fight with you about what kind of person you are. Like, be that. If that is who you want to be, right, then be that. Yeah, but Dennis, so while that is true, it has reached a different level. And I think that that's really important for us to talk about, right? What hasn't existed previously is, yes, we are going to definitely talk about the debt. And like I said, so I found a really great video, and she explains it so beautifully, Veronica. So I'm going to play it because I want everyone to hear it. It's literally 8 minutes long, but it's so concise and so simplistic that it's amazing, right? So I do want to show that. Yeah, so Dennis, just because war crimes is nothing new doesn't mean that it's something that we should continue to do, right? And it's not something that we should endorse. It's not something that we should support. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So I think, so this is the thing that I think is interesting, is whenever we talk about something and somebody goes, yes, but it's always been this way, that doesn't negate the fact that it is like that today, and that it shouldn't be that way, and that we don't have to keep it that way, and that we should be doing something to end the thing that has been happening, right? And so it's wild to me, and it's a little defeatist or dismissive to say, oh, well, this is nothing new, right? So number one, I would argue that what we are witnessing right now is new because of the level that it's being done on, right? So what we have not seen is, for example, what we have not seen to the degree that we are seeing it right now is what is happening in the West Bank. Okay, we have not seen Israel going into the West Bank, where Hamas is not in charge, where Hamas is not, where the Palestinian Authority is in control. And we have not seen them make plans to do settlements in places where they are not supposed to be, where they have agreed not to be, right? And so I think it's really important to make those distinctions and say, okay, so no, this is a different level. So I think it's really important, thank you, Kid Kiss, for us to point out exactly what is happening and what makes it different, and why it's not acceptable, and why it should matter to us before we head to these polls come November. Hey, sissy girl, the girls are back. So yeah, I just think it's really, really important for us to do that. Appreciate you guys. So, hey, Chris, good to see you. All right. So I see a couple of folks that have requested, and I'm not sure who all has requested to actually join the panel, who else requested just to boost. So give me a second for things to kick off, and then I'll open up the panel and we'll bring some people up. Okay. All right. So one of the things, okay, I got you. What, baby? She's telling me she was in the room. Okay. So first, what I want to do, you're just boosting Farah. Okay, great. Okay, so first things first, what I want to do is I want to play this video. And we can talk about Gary, Indiana as well if we need to. I don't know other than to say this is what's happening there and this is horrible. Oh my Jesus! Why am I getting all of these? This is a new thing from TikTok, I guess. It's giving me all of these different little prompts up here, and I don't like that. Salam Muhammad OS. Hey, Macon, good to see you. All right, so what I want to do is I want to play this clip for you guys. And she's specifically talking about, okay, oh my gosh. Yes, yeah, so Mama Africa, I was supposed to do something with Papa Orion this past Tuesday, but my granddaughter has been sick, literally like at the hospital, IVs, the whole nine. And she's just now better. So this is my first live in days. So I have to message him, and then he and I are going to set up another live. And he's got some folks in Congo that are going to go live with us, and all of that. So he sent me graphics and all of that. So, all right. So appreciate you, Can Mom. All right. So a couple of things. I want to play. Oops, that's not the one I want. This is it. I'm going to want that one too. I just pulled up the one of BB that I was.
Apparently.
Okay.
Okay. It's Friday, August 21st, and bonds. We're in.
Yes, baby. Yeah. Mom, Matt, will you open that for her? Who? What? Oh. Okay. All right. So sorry. Okay. So listen, you guys. So how many of you guys have heard a lot of the rhetoric in the last week about what's happening? We've reached $40 trillion in debt, the highest that it's ever been. Yeah, she is. Oh, swells. If she was in the hospital, I would not be alive, girl. But so listen, and how many of you all have heard about the Treasury buying back bonds, people selling our bonds, and you're wondering, okay, so what does all of this mean, and how is it relevant to us, and what does that mean for the country? You've been reading about it? Okay, so this is the best clip that I've found about it. Oh yeah, Veronica. This is the best clip that I found about it, because in addition to our debt reaching the highest that it's ever been at $40 trillion, our yield has also reached the highest that it has in 18 years. Okay. And so when we talk about the yield reaching its highest in 18 years, the yield is like how much we are paying people to hold our debt. Okay. And so this clip that I found of this woman explaining it is the best that I've heard. And it's very simple and very succinct, and easy to understand. And I think that that's really important. So what I find sometimes is people that are having these conversations are explaining it, and they're explaining it in terms that regular lay folks who are not in that industry are like, what the fuck does that mean? And what, how is this important, and so forth and so on. So this is about that. Oh my gosh, why are you requesting me? No. Okay. All right. So Sam, you just give me a minute, please, and then I'm going to open up the panel. Okay. So she does a great job. So TikTok, I just want you to listen. And you guys over here, I'm actually going to let you watch the video of her talking about it. Okay. Okay. So she's fantastic. Ready? Here we go.
Apparently. Okay, it's Friday, August 21st, and bonds. We're in the news a lot this week, and I got a lot of questions from people asking me, what is a bond and what is happening? So I'm going to try to explain this as accurately and painlessly as possible. But all of this kicked off I think the hubbub around bonds kicked off on Tuesday when the yield of the 30-year Treasury hits the highest level it's seen in 18 years. So what on earth does that mean? Okay, the U.S. government sells debt. That debt that we sell is called a bond. And the people who buy the bond, right, the return they get is what's called the yield. It's the interest we pay for people who hold our debt. So when you have a mortgage, you pay an interest rate. If you bought a car, you have a car loan or a credit card, all of these have interest rates. That is basically the return for holding other people's debt, is the interest you get from it. People who hold government debt, bonds, they get the yield. Now, the market for U.S. debts via bonds is really strong. I mean, people love holding U.S. debt because it's considered a very safe investment. We have the full faith and credit of the U.S. We have very sophisticated central bank and a very sophisticated treasury. People believe us when we say they'll pay them back. And so most of the time, we don't actually have to pay people that much to hold our debt. The yield tends to be pretty low. Like think under 5%. You know, it doesn't really take much for people to want to buy U.S. debt. And there's been a lot of like interest lately in debt because the economy has been so meh since the pandemic, and you have these things like inflation, and it's just, people like to hold on to this asset and stay safe. That means that even though the U.S. debt is $40 trillion, it has not cost us that much to convince people to hold it. Well, when the bond yield hits a high, that means that the demand for our debt is lowering. That can happen for two reasons, either because something's happening with the U.S. government or something's happening like in the market with our competitors who also sell debt. So on the government side, what's happening is that debt reached 40 trillion and the Iran war is not going well. And we're probably going to have to raise interest rates soon because inflation is still a thing. It isn't getting better. And people are a little nervous because the new Fed chair doesn't want to say much about what he wants to do. And so the market is kind of reacting in wilder swings to try and fill in the gaps. And the Treasury Department, which occasionally buys back debt. In fact, Janet Yellen did this, and when he wasn't Treasury Secretary, Besant criticized her. But of course, now that he's Treasury Secretary, he's doing the same thing, but more, because that's what politics means, criticizing people for the things that you yourself will eventually do. Yeah, he's going to go back and buy some of the U.S. debt to try and calm the market. But I think what this yield, like the reason why there's so much attention paid to it, is that there is this sense that at some point the music has to stop. And the fact that the U.S. is running record high deficits, and we're not at war, not in a real war, not a massive war involving the mobilization of troops, that we're not expanding Medicare or Social Security right now, that we...
The sound is having trouble for you guys? Okay, hold on one second. It's getting better. You guys let me know over there if it, yeah, no, it's over here on this side. So give me a second. So did everybody follow what she said so far? Because I loved her explanation about what the yield is, what it means, what are the two things that we're looking at as to why our yield is the highest that it's been in 18 years. Like she did great. And it was just really simple. And so I love that. It's muffled a little. Okay. Not for you guys, but over here. Okay. So, let me do this. What point am I at? I'm at the 3-minute mark. Okay. Give me 1 second, folks. Because here's what I'm going to do. I am going to, this is her. And I'm going to take it down to the 3-minute mark again. All right. So let's see if this is any better, folks. Okay. If you're watching me on YouTube, Facebook, or Substack, or Twitch, let me know if this sound is any better. Okay. I just opened it with a different player. All right. Here we go.
Care or Social Security right now, that we, aren't retrofitting the entire U.S. infrastructure to be ready for climate change and change our energy consumption. We're not making generational investments in children through some massive spending spree. I mean, we're not even in a recession that would require massive government spending or an automatic increase in deficits. We are just at stasis running a massive deficit, which means that we are a grossly mismanaged fiscal situation.
I love her explanation right there. when she says it's the same, I don't know what to, I don't know because I've turned the volume down and used a different player. It might just be an issue with, it's way better for you, Dennis. Okay. It may just be an issue with Restream, guys. So I apologize. I will tell you this, if you follow me on TikTok, then this video I have reposted. So if you go to my reposts, then you'll be able to listen there. But one of the things that she said is, okay, so listen, we've got this. Oh, it's better, Beth. Love that. So she said, so she's talking about we have this massive debt, and she said, and what's crazy is that we're not doing anything that should have caused this. Like we're not expanding Medicare, we're not expanding Social Security, we're not making generational investments in our children economically. Like we're not doing anything that should have caused us. We are just in a grossly mismanaged fiscal state, which I think is incredible for people to hear. So listen to this.
Bill hasn't come due. And when it comes due, it'll probably come due in the bond market when people refuse to buy our debt, or we have to pay them more and more money to hold our debt because they don't really think that the government is a good investment anymore. So whenever the bond yield goes up, it becomes this like, is this it? Is this the rapture? Is this the moment where people lose faith because Congress has done such a terrible job managing our finances and the market's finally going to punish us for it? That's one thing that happens. And so every time the bond yield goes up, and when it goes up to an 18-year high, that's going to be the conversation, and it's going to get a ton of attention, and it's going to go back to what is the U.S. doing for this fiscal situation. Apparently, it's like giving away the company store because Congress is addicted to massive tax cuts. And if you're keeping record, at the moment where the U.S. is sitting on an incredible amount of debt and a very large deficit, meaning our debt is growing at a high rate, Congress last year voted to cut $450 billion of taxes a year. So no, we're not.
Listen to what she just said. Okay, so first, for those of you who want to know her name is Keds, Keds _ economist. So this is literally what she does. Okay. And she said, it's like we're giving away the company store because at this time where the economy is like, ugh, and all of these things are happening, she says, listen, if you're not keeping record, last year, Congress gave away $450 billion with a B of tax cuts. And we know where those tax cuts went. They went to the ultra wealthy, right? And so this is absolutely nuts. So I'm going to rewind it just a little bit for you to hear her talk about that again, because it's crazy. So listen.
What is the U.S. doing for this fiscal situation? Apparently, it's like giving away the company store because Congress is addicted to massive tax cuts. And if you're keeping record, at the moment where the U.S. is sitting on an incredible amount of debt and a very large deficit, meaning our debt is growing at a high rate, Congress last year voted to cut $450 billion of taxes a year. So no, we're not well run that way. I mean, we have a good Treasury and a good Federal Reserve. Can't say we have a good Congress when it comes to fiscal decisions. Okay. That's the vertical, right? Every time the bond yield goes up, it's going to be a question of whether or not the U.S.'s moments of like riding on credit starts to crash. Now, the horizontal is we're not the only people selling debt. Not the Treasury bond is not the only debt that you can invest in. Corporations have debts, municipalities, like a bunch of people sell debts. We are starting to get some competition in terms of we being the federal government, and that's coming from AI companies. And they are starting to sell their own corporate debts in order to finance the continued boom of the AI sector. And so what's also happened this week is that the amount of debt that AI companies are pouring into the market that are competing with treasuries and competing with bonds, that is getting some attention of like, what does it mean that so much of our economy is now staked on these companies selling a product that we don't really know what will look like, that are come with a lot of promises, that also come with a lot of promises of incredible pain for U.S. workers that they tend to brag about. So it's a very like, people feel insecure, has a two-way effect. Sometimes that makes them rush to government debt because it feels like the U.S. debt is secure. But if they're insecure about the U.S. debt, that can lead to a lot of weird things. So all of that happened in the bond market this week. Fair question. Does this matter to you? Yes, it does. Unequivocally, even if you don't care about it, the bond market cares about you. The price of bonds, the yield, that influences interest rates in our economy. So the interest rates most directly influenced by bond yields is the 30-year mortgage rate. And that yes, the Fed's interest rate policy does affect the 30-year mortgage rate, but the bond market yield affects it more. And it tends to track the bond market yield as being like an investment that's like almost as safe as the federal government. And so bond yields, mortgage rates tend to be just like a little bit higher than the bond yield. So if the bond yield goes up, mortgage rates will go up too. And then it affects, interest rates, that's the obvious big one, but then it affects the interest rates kind of over all kinds of prices and products in our economy. So that is what's going on. I mean, I think what's really the story that came out was this couldn't have happened. I mean, it's just not happening at a great time because we still have inflation, because the war in Iran is pushing up energy prices, because wage growth has started to get stagnant, and because AI is really scary. And a lot of people are saying that we are in the middle of a stock bubble, and they're pointing to like very good data to show that. And so this uncertainty, it's just if mortgage interest rates push up, then people don't buy houses. If people don't buy houses, then they don't build houses. If they don't build houses, we're not having large activity in the construction sector. If that's one sector that's cyclical, that's not growing, then like where is growth coming from in the economy, and are other cyclical sectors doing well? Like it's just a very like give a mouse a cookie type of situation of like if this hurts, then this hurts, then this hurts. And we're always genuinely worried that something bad could happen to the US economy, because however weak the US economy it is, at any one point, being bad is worse. That's technical economics term. So if you stayed around this long, you'll learn that the economy can be weak, but being bad is worse. Anyway, for old time's sake, I did an 8-minute video. Hope this answered your questions. And you don't send me any more about the bond market.
Like I said, her name is Keds_economist. I highly recommend following her. And this was like one of the best explanations that I had seen regarding what's happening with our debt and our bonds and how it's all connected, and what that could potentially mean for us, and the danger of the AI selling its debt, those AI companies selling their debt and borrowing more upon more upon more. Is a big deal for us as a country. So I wanted to share that with folks because this is not my area of expertise. So what I do is I try to find people who it is their area of expertise and share that information with you so that you are more well-informed about what we are doing. Right. We are on another bubble, 100%. And so I just think it's incredibly important that that people are at least informed enough and have a solid understanding, however elementary or foundational that it is, of exactly what's happening and why we're buying our bonds back and what that looks like, and just how concerned people ought to be about where we are, especially because there is no need. Great. Hey, Dr. Amy, appreciate you. Yes, baby. Okay, you guys have one in your bedroom, I think, plugged up to the top of the bed. And also, Belle, did you bring my portable charger back from Mommy's house? Okay, so, okay, all right. So I wanted to kind of let you all know that. I think that one of the things that I think is worth people talking about, right, is the reason for what we have going on right now is horrible fiscal mismanagement by Congress and this addiction to tax cuts for the supremely wealthy, and just how harmful that is to absolutely everyone else. So when you tax cuts for these folks and AI selling their debt, and then just remember when we talked about how when our allies, and I said this not because they don't want to be our allies, but because some of our allies are like, y'all are fucking nuts right now. And we talked about like when our allies start using words like unpredictable to describe us, there's this uncertainty about the relationship with us as a country, and our allyship and our trade and our our deals and all of those types of things. And we talked about just how dangerous that can be for the country over time. And I think it's worth remembering and noting that those are the words that the UK has used to describe us. I mean, look at what we're doing right now with Canada, right? So we tried to slip something into our little deal with Canada. Mark is a smart financial dude, and he was like, "Yeah, fuck off." And so here we are, again in some not so great positions with Congress still making moves. And this is my thing. There's a lot of reasons that you can increase your debt that are helpful to working class people. We're not doing that. Our debt has nothing to do with making daily life better for working class Americans. And I think that that's something that people need to sit with, right? Right. So Jeff says the right conflates fiscal conservatism with cutting spending. It's more spending with ROI. And so this is my thing. It's more right now. What we have is more spending with less ROI, right? We are spending a shit ton more and not getting as much for it. And the things that we are spending more on isn't for working class people, and it's got no return for the average American. And I think that that is the place that people need to be concerned, and be mindful of. And be mindful of that when you're going to vote, right? If you remember in this, so here's what I also love about this conversation and what she said is, if you notice, she wasn't talking specifically about this administration. She wasn't talking about putting the trim on the ballroom. She didn't mention the ballroom. She didn't mention the arch up in DC. She didn't mention any of those things that would tend to make some folks be defensive for the president, right? Hey, Jay Nice. She didn't do that. She said Congress is doing a horrible damn job, because Congress is who's supposed to control the purse strings. They just are. And so what we have to look at is the things that are being passed in Congress that have to do with spending. Who is voting for these things, and how are they voting? And are we holding them accountable for the way that they have voted come this, my cat. Are we holding Congress accountable for what it's been doing for the last 18 months? And I think that, so let me just say this. I mentioned this the other day when I was live, and I'm going to mention it again. It is not only unfair, it is a false equivalency to compare this administration to Joe Biden's administration, and the economy between those two things, because one of them came following a global pandemic, right? One of them came not just following, in the middle of a global pandemic, right? And I think it's incredibly important for us to remember that there's a big difference between the economy that Joe Biden inherited, the state of the world globally that he inherited, compared to what the current president inherited. They are not the same thing. And we really need to call a thing and point those things out, and not allow people, thanks Carla, not allow people to distort that and go, oh, but look at this. This is what Joe Biden created in debt. Okay, can we talk about what happened? And the fact that the rate of inflation, I mean, you all, I cannot say, there are not words to describe how grateful I am that Joe Biden is the president, or rather that the current president was not the president from 2021 through 2024. Because I can't imagine, can you imagine if we had had this Congress and this administration in the middle of that global pandemic and everything that came with it? I cannot imagine. I just can't. And despite Congress being split the way that it was, we got a ton of things through that would have been great. So, like, listen, The other day Trump was bragging about, and I can't remember what it was, but he was bragging about something in the market, da 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 da, whatever. And the thing is that it's literally because this is the year that whatever the thing was kicked off because of the Inflation Reduction Act, and I'm like, you're literally celebrating, but it's the benefit of a Joe Biden era policy. It was Joe Biden's policy, but you're going to celebrate it because it happened during your term. But it happened during your term because that's how long it took, and that's when it took effect. And it would have been even better for people if if this Congress wasn't doing what it does, right? Um, so let me see what you're saying. I can't see the rest of your statement, Beth. It cut off at educating, but yeah, the Biden administration's job on managing the inflation is being taught in economics worldwide. Yeah, because no one else had the recovery that we did at the rate that we had it. Like, say what you want to say. I don't agree with everything that happened under the Biden Harris administration. Of course not. You're never going to agree with everything that has happened in every administration, right? However, we came out of where we were at the rate that we did, as fast as we did, specifically because of his leadership, his policy, the people that worked on his staff, and the ability to get things done. And that's the thing that I look for. So let me just say this: one of the things that I look for when I'm looking at leadership and I'm looking at an administration is the ability to get bipartisanship or to get enough of it done to pass meaningful legislation. And when you look at the things that were passed under the Biden-Harris administration, they were great. And they were exceptional. And the Inflation Reduction Act and the Chips and Science Act and all of those different types of things. And I just wish more people had been well informed about the benefits to the work that was done during that administration, because we would be far better off. So just saying. One of the things that I would encourage people to do. Yes, Veronica, we can. Let me also say this. When we are having these conversations, hey, Glitzy Girl, one of the things that I would encourage folks to do is to remove the partisan language when you're talking about these issues. So instead of saying, and it doesn't matter if it's true, listen, it doesn't matter if it's true, okay? Saying things like Democrats always bring stability economically. Democrats always create more jobs. It does not matter if those things are true or not true. If you are leading your conversations and your statements by saying Republicans do this or Democrats do that, you are falling into the partisanship, divisive rhetoric that is automatically going to have some people put up a wall and not hear what you're saying. Automatically. And so what I would offer is a different way to have those conversations, and talk about the policies and the initiatives and the things that created that stability rather than the party. Does that make sense? So rather than talk about what party did something, can we talk about the policy that was passed? Can we talk about the actual issue, the initiative, the legislation that was done in order for us to do that? Cipro, we don't talk about Jews in here in this space at all. So you can leave that alone. I just want to be very clear about that. We don't do that here. Okay? Yes, but that's the problem, Veronica. So listen, yes, the party is how we vote. However, it shouldn't be, number one. Oh, let me just go on and mute you. Here, let me just do this first. So Cipro, before I go ahead and mute you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come to this panel. Yeah, I reposted it this morning, unapologetically me. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and okay, done. All right. So Carol, I want to say this. Can we not use the words anti-Semitic? And I'm going to tell you why. Jewish people are not the only people that are Semitic. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. Um, you can say he sounds bigoted if you would like, but we really need to be accurate when we talk about certain things. Um, just saying. All right, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the panel so that I can bring some folks up to have part of the conversation. I'm going to remind you all. This is not a debate. You're debate me, bro. Have a gotcha moment conversation. This is a discussion that we have here based on facts and information. You have to be respectful. You don't use slurs of any kind. Don't spam my damn comments, and don't type in all caps. Okay, Veronica, let me go back to saying this. So while people vote by party, number one, we shouldn't. We should be voting based on the candidate and the candidate's policies and their positions on issues and policies. Number two, if you lead with and if you are leading with the party, so because here's my thing, it's more important to talk about the policy, the issue, the law, the thing that was passed, and then you can talk about who introduced it afterwards, right? But if you lead with the party, you lead with divisiveness, right? So instead of leading with the party, lead with the policy, lead with the issue, lead with the benefit, and then you can bring it back home to the party if you need to. Okay. So Dennis, no, I don't think that it's so. First, I want people to say that when people say we have a two-party system, we have a system that has given preference to two parties, right? But we don't have just two parties. We have a shit ton of parties out there. Okay. We have a ton of parties. The very first time we had a third party in this country was in 1828. So we have had multiple parties throughout time. What has happened is that we have devised an economic campaign finance system that holds up two parties. Follow me? We have created a campaign finance system that supports the dominance of these two parties, but we have a shit ton of political parties out there, right? And so it's important for us to, again, because if I just say, oh, well, it's because it's a two-party system. No, it doesn't matter how many parties we have if the American people were diligent about becoming accurately informed and voting on issues and not culture wars. You could have 50 fucking parties and it wouldn't matter if the American people were diligent and invested and understood the importance of being politically engaged and knowledgeable and accurately informed and participating in elections. So I'm just saying, what I wish most Americans would stop doing is blaming everyone and everything except ourselves. We have to take responsibility because we are the people. You're mad. If you guys are like, oh, well, fuck it, Congress has never done whatever, then that's a you problem because Congress only does whatever the American people let them do. If you're like, oh, Congress hasn't done shit for 50 years, well, why didn't you vote them out? Right? So you can't blame Congress without taking blame as someone who is responsible for who we send to Congress. It's just crazy. It's really important for people to understand that at the end of the day, the responsibility is on the American people. You don't like the job that Congress is doing, vote them out. That's it. This is why I don't support term limits for Congress. I just don't. I think that I believe that the people are the term limits. I do support term limits for judicial appointments, including the Supreme Court, because the people don't have anything to do with that. And I don't believe that a judge should be a lifetime appointment. No, they don't already have term limits. They have terms, and each of those terms are set for a particular number of years, but there's not a limit as to how many terms they can serve. So listen, term limits means a limit to the number of terms you can serve. We understand what a term is. A term is however many years you're allowed to serve when you're elected. But we don't have limits as to how many terms a person. Gotcha. So I'm just saying, like, that's the part that I really want people to get. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring folks up to the panel, and then we're going to kind of open this up for a little bit of discussion, okay? And for the folks who, oh, thanks, Big Daddy D. For the folks who are asking, the video that I just played from you is KEDS, KEDS_economist. It's a great video about the bonds and the debt and what it means. So it's incredible. So you should follow her. All right, folks, when I bring you up to the panel, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you, and then we will go from there. Okay? She has a bunch of great videos. I believe it, because she was amazing. 100%. All right, Moo, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, Dani, how are you?
I am fantastic. What would you like to share?
Well, I did tell a bunch of people about those maps you made and where you located the voters that the Dems need to reach. And I got a bunch of them to come into your live, so they're very interested in that. That was great, by the way.
Love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I really like what you did. So as far as the bonds go, every country runs debt. The problem is America no longer has the assets to cover the amount of debt it's accumulating. And at some point, people are going to lose confidence in the dollar, because at this point, you have countries that are able to buy oil outside of the petrodollar. You have Japan, who was our largest holder of bonds, steadily selling off their debt. You have China steadily selling off our bonds and buying tons and tons of gold, because they would actually like to be the ones who set the price of gold instead of the United States. You have the tax money going from the Straits of Hormuz into the BRICS economy. So all of these things to me indicate the end of the dollar as the world currency within the next decade or so. Just like how the pound sterling is no longer the world currency now. And I also expect a depression type of situation, maybe even a run on the banks if enough confidence is lost in the dollar. And what Scott Bessent's doing is going to spike inflation.
Yeah, so I agree that the things that are happening right now, I believe that we are going to see an increase in inflation, and we're going to see a change in the rates, and we're going to have to raise the rates and that sort of thing. One of the things that I don't do hardly at all is to predict what's going to happen in the future, and I really don't do that if what that prediction would be an outcome that I don't desire to see. And the reason why is because there are so many factors at play, and I say this all the time in this space, I'm not Miss Cleo. So I don't know what is or what isn't going to happen, right? So I can't say that. What I do know is that if I don't want particular things to happen, that it is incumbent upon me to become ridiculously accurately informed and to make sure that I am voting and participating to prevent those things from actually happening. And that's kind of the world where I tend to stay in, because here's what I think happens a lot is as people make predictions And especially if those predictions are negative, right? Especially if those predictions are just gloom and doom. Sometimes what that does is it discourages people and makes them feel like they don't have any power and they can't do anything about the things that are happening. And it's like, oh, well, what's the point? Right. So I tend to stay out of that space and just say, okay, this is where we are. And these are the things that we can do if we want to get on track, period. And it just kind of keeps me in that space where it's not so rooted in whatever the negative potential outcomes, if that makes sense.
Sure, I can agree with that. I mean, what I'll say is this. Then I would say Americans need to be more on board with cutting the military budget and subsidies for large corporations, because right now cutting those things seems to be taboo. So until people start getting aligned with not giving billionaires and contractors all of our tax money, I think people need to get more on board with that and getting the dark money out of the politics.
Yeah, and I think there's more and more of that that's happening as people kind of understand where we are and the things that have happened. And so I think that is something that you hear a lot of people talking about. You hear people talking about corporate welfare a whole lot more than you did in years past. This idea of $1.5 trillion for the defense budget is fucking nuts. And I think people are like, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. And so I think that we are headed in that direction. And the reason why I really think that is I think that's evidence when we look at the people that are winning in the primaries, right? And so we are getting more and more of that. It just needs to be more centered in the conversation. And people have to keep talking about those types of things and drawing the awareness to, hey, listen, why is Microsoft or Elon Musk or Amazon or whomever else, Albertsons and whoever, all of the large Meta, why are all of them getting ridiculous tax breaks and then many of them not paying livable wages for their folks and getting big corporate bailouts when they can't manage their own finances? Appreciate you, Kiss, and all of those different types of things while working class regular citizens are struggling. You know what I mean? Yeah, Angie Nixon had a ton of young voters. Yeah. I don't know if you all saw her clip. She's got an ad out where she just talks about growing up working class, and she's got one where she like names what she's wearing, and she was like Goodwill $6.99, this and so she's relatable in that respect. People are like, oh well, she's just like us. Some of you old heads voted for her too.
She had like $13 million running against her, and I think she only raised like $900K, maybe.
She was outspent 16-1.
Yeah, it was insane. So she did a great job, and I think she'll win in the general election. She also defeated a heavy establishment Dem, which was extremely impressive. I also want to give a shout out to Aisha Wahab in California, who did win the special election for Eric Swalwell's seat. So that was a huge upset, guys. So that was a great job there too.
Yeah, it was. And this is my thing. It's one of the other takeaways is, if you remember, so Vindman, it was a big defeat because he's somebody that, testified against Trump during the first go round after the first term. And she was outspent. He's somebody that stood up to Trump. And so you would have thought, and he is absolutely fundraising for her now, which I love. So this is one of the things. I was on Sirius XM last night on the Dean Abdallah show. And one of the things that Joe and I were talking about is the one thing that the Democratic Party seems to have now gotten in their thick skulls is no matter who wins that primary, whoever it is, shut the fuck up and get behind them. Right? And so you saw that with, Jasmine saying yes to Tallarico. You see that with Haley Stevens saying yes to Abdul El Said. You see that, with, oh my gosh, Morrow also getting behind Abdul. And so it is, you see that with Vindman when it comes to Angie Nixon. And so yay, Democratic Party for finally getting your shit together. What's the matter with you? Why are you fake crying? Okay, so can you ask Bella to help you? Tell Bella Tutu said help you. Is that slime on your shirt? Where's the slime, honey? Where's the slime? Where? At mommy's? Here? Now? Now? Okay, on the table. Y'all, slime is serious, so hold on. Okay, so it's outside on the table. Okay, that's fine. It just can't go in your bedroom, okay? Okay. Listen. So, slime is serious. We have to know where the slime is. Because slime does not go anywhere where there is carpet in the house. So y'all saw my face. I was like, is that slime on your shirt? Because what? Hey Dano. So yeah, I was having a moment. Yep. So just not in your room. Slime can't go in your room, okay? There you go. Holy jeez. Can we analogize that to also be the house, not just the house? Yes. What? Yes, if you can give me a minute. Okay. Yeah, I just needed to know. Yeah, somebody thought that was a great birthday gift for Bella. And I mean a tub of it, like this. So, yay. Okay. Appreciate you, Moo. You can feel free to hang right there, or you can drop. Just let me know.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop down. Thank you so much. I'll stay in chat.
Okay, sounds great. Appreciate you, Moo. Here, sissy. Yes, the big one. Good job drinking. All right, James. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, and it's been a minute, and I'm not too happy with that. I don't know why. Something happened. I hadn't seen you in a few days.
Well, that is because my granddaughter has been ridiculously sick for a solid week. So I put posts up, and it was on the. If you were in the Discord, you would know, and I put it up on my story. But no, Mila has been very, very sick, and so.
Okay, then it wasn't my fault. I just something all of a sudden I wasn't paying attention, and I recognized I hadn't interacted with you in a few days.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
What you want to share, James?
I guess I want to say what's your thought on the fact that this, and I know sometimes you don't like, you call these kind of things trivial, but they're meaningful me into the overall mindset of our country and how YK people don't seem to understand what will upset people of color. The suggestion that they're going to remove the name of a war hero, a colored black war hero, and replace it with a living person who never served in the armed services. Mm-hmm. I find that just overly ridiculous. And that's when I say, if that's not racist, it is mediocrity at its best, and it's white privilege, because you would never do that for somebody like Obama. Okay, to replace a white war hero with Barack Obama's name would be unheard of and a reason to lynch somebody. But yet they do it with no consideration of how it's going to impact the people of color opinion.
No, I think they do it fully, knowing how it's going to impact people.
You're right. Okay.
I think they do it fully because this is what they want you to talk about instead of the treasury and the bonds. This is what they want you to talk about instead of inflation and affordability. This is what they want you to talk about instead of healthcare and the vertical integration and monopolization of our healthcare industry. It is right. It is a rage bait discussion. And that is why when I first went live today, I said people are going to talk about this shit instead of being focused on the very real issues that are facing us heading up to November. And this is my thing, is we can change. It is literally changing a fucking name on a ship. That's all it is. It is just changing the name on a ship. And if we do our due diligence and we stay focused and we elect the right people in Congress, we can change the shit fucking back. Right? We get a different president and we change it back. It literally, I don't care. I don't care if they can name some shit after Robert E. Lee. I don't care right now because I am focused on the most important thing, which is Congress. That is the most important thing. We can change names all damn day long. I'm just saying, you all. And when people say, and for those of you all that said this is whitewashing history, how many of you all even knew that there was a boat named after this man? How many of you all knew that this was a Black war hero's name on this damn boat until they decided to change it? You didn't fucking know. You didn't know. It doesn't change history. You didn't even know. It's some shit that don't matter.
Well, I think it matters in the sense that it doesn't just affect the boat. When we acknowledge the great achievements by people of color, our young people are inspired to do that and more.
James, that would be valid if anybody knew about it. Was anybody teaching about this particular Black hero in school? Yes or no? No. You want to know how we know no? Because we would have known the man's name. They didn't go down to Atlanta and take. They didn't go around to across the country and take Martin Luther King Boulevard out of every damn city in America. Did they know? Right? No, it didn't happen. And so it is really important. It is incredibly important for people to focus on the things that are relevant. And even, let me just say this, even if they did, I still wouldn't give a shit. You want to know why? Because a street is not impacting my healthcare, my housing, my affordability, the education system. I don't care. And this is how easily they play you. You are really going, oh, well, it's important because we need to have Black representation. We do. And was this part of Black representation? No. Did anybody know about it ahead of time? No. I'm just saying, they just playing y'all all day long.
Well,
give me 1 second. I need hold on a second, James. Oh no. I love that. That looks like K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, so listen, I need a real quick favor. I need a mod really quick. I gotta do something for 2 seconds. Hold on, James. But I need a mod to give me a break for just a second. For real. Like it's kind of urgent. That was fire, wasn't it? But I do need, thank you, Carla. I'll be right back, James.
Hi everyone. Guys, sorry. My boys are in the background. Hi everyone, welcome to Dani's Live. Yay! How's everyone? Yay. Make sure you're tapping the screen. Hey James. Make sure you're tapping that screen. Claiming your heart. Then going back, claiming your points. Gifting Dani if you can. Repost to your story. Hey Dani. Share out the live. do all the good things for Dani. And while I have everyone here, I just want to give a quick announcement. So we all know our friend Abu Siraj, and we love him. Today he is having a battle against another Gazan creator at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So even if you can't gift, if you can come by, give some taps, show some love, he greatly appreciate it. I think that's it. Oh, and if you haven't joined Project for the People, you can check out information in Dani's bio. I think it's the first one in her bio. And what did I miss, chat? Did I miss anything?
Hello, how do you go? Where do you go to buy merchandise? It's like the buy
that's
one.
That's also in the bio.
In the bio?
Yeah, so at the top of the screen, James, you see where right next to Dani's name, just click on that. Hey, Kim.
Where it says Dani 7?
Yeah, you just click on that, and in there you can get to Dani's bio, and you'll be able to find the merch. Monica, what is that on the top of the page? It might be on the top of the page. Oh wait, yep, Monica just tagged you, James.
Okay.
Oh, you can also message her directly, and she'll help you out. Good, I'm proud of you, James. You're gonna buy some merch. But what I want you to do too is I need you to listen. Listen, James, when you come in here, you gotta listen. You be going off the rails sometimes.
Listen to that.
You know? You gotta listen. You come here. We know you're good people, but sometimes you be getting to us. Sometimes I'll be like, oh gosh, what is James gonna talk about today? Okay.
Well, I'm just I guess I get in a war about different things. I'm an ally, but I get in a war about something.
Yes, you get sucked into the nonsense. You gotta stay focused.
Well, I am very focused on November, believe it or not. I really
good.
And I'm scared and focused because I am.
Okay.
I'm not as sure. I mean, there've been some things I was sure of that didn't happen, and so now, though I want to be sure, there's some things that I'm afraid of.
I know, but when you come in here, don't come here with stuff that we're not going to even be talking about. Okay. Yes.
Well, I'm mostly with political stuff.
Yes, political, but the stuff that matters, James, not nonsense, not things that we're not focused on. Okay. Yes.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, I told Shane, sorry, Abu Siraj, his live is at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
You were looking for what, baby? Thank you, Carla.
No problem. I'm talking to James, dude.
I know, I heard you.
Stop coming here with his nonsense. We love him, but you gotta stop it.
I know, I heard you. I said, not Carla giving him some big sis love. Yes,
right,
but
love you guys.
Love you. Thank you. Yes, baby.
No problem.
They're in the room, baby, from last night. Okay. Oh my geez. All right. So yeah, I love Carla trying to get you all the way together, because this is my thing. I want you all to just remember something. It is not that the things that people are calling culture wars, it's not that they're not important. They are. Racial conversations are important and necessary. LGBTQIA conversations are important and necessary. All of those things are important and necessary. However, we will not be in a position to do something about those things from policy and law perspective. We will not be in that position if we do not get serious about these midterms and our elections and staying focused on the issues. You understand? Those things will continue to exist, and they will get worse if we don't do our damn job. And so, like right now, okay, so listen, there's a time there's a time and place to weave those things into conversation, right? There's a time and place to do that, but they can't be singular issues and focuses by themselves, right? So there cannot be this long sustained discussion about, oh, the Trump administration wants to take this name off of da 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 da. So what I want to know, James, is tell me how that is impacting your healthcare, your education, your housing, or your economic situation.
Well, it doesn't impact any of those things, but it does impact my mental thought process related to just wanting normalcy. Dani,
James, no. Tell me how this has impacted your mental processes.
Because I live in a fashion where I want things to be as equal as possible. And so when somebody goes off the rails in the wrong direction, and I just think certain things shouldn't happen because they're just unacceptable. And that is unacceptable. It's just unacceptable and unfair. It's ridiculous.
You sound like a child. You sound like a child. You literally just said it's unfair.
It is.
So?
I mean, some things just should not be as.
And do you know what should not be? It should not be that children are at school hungry. It should not be that people are homeless. It should not be that our elderly are still having to go out and try to work or living in conditions that are unacceptable. It should not be that corporations aren't paying people a livable wage. It should not be. So if we're going to talk about things that should not be, can we have some fucking priorities? Because in the list of things that are important that should not be, the name on a boat or a building is in the pits of hell compared to the other issues that we need to be focused on.
And I understand what you're saying.
Do you?
Yeah.
So listen, Michael, we're not doing that. So let me just tell you, so Michael, we do. So what we're not going to do is compare the economic situation in the United States of America to lower income nations. We're not doing that. We're not doing that because rent in Bangladesh is not the same as rent in the United States of America. So we're not going to do this false equivalency in our arguments. We're not doing that. I'm just going to be very clear. Yes, people in the United States of America do know something about poverty. When a ridiculous percentage of our country is living in food insecurity, yes, they do. We're not doing that. So yeah, we're just not doing that. So, Linda, did you mean to request up? Folks, when I bring you to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you.
Hello?
Hold on 1 second. Linda, did you mean to request up? That's going to be a no. Okay. Good afternoon, Chill Commander. How are you? Let me send you an invitation to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, give me 1 second. So, Dennis, I don't feel the need to compare us to any other country. I mean, so here's my thing. If we were going to compare things, then we would need to be compared to other high-income nations, right? And then we could compare our infrastructure and our systems and things like that, right? But I think it is disingenuous and it doesn't serve anyone to try to compare poverty in the United States compared to other low-income nations around the world. That's what I mean. Hey, Chill Commander. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good.
So what would you like to share today?
Well, I want to share that I'm a Trump voter. I'm sure I'm not a popular guy on your page.
I mean,
Anyways.
we have lots of people here that vote different ways.
So I saw your page. I saw the new levels of debt, high prices, losing war, civil rights. I pretty much agree with everything. I think Trump dropped the ball. I don't. Yeah, he's done. You know, I closed the book on that guy. What's the future? He's going to be done in 2 years. What's the future?
Well, I think the future is whatever the American people decide it's going to be, right? And I think, well, first you would have to say is what are the things that you are important to you? Like, what are the things that you think?
So I can tell you, I live in California, and I don't have health insurance. I can't afford it. I could barely afford rent. I could barely afford gas prices. We're like struggling. I know I could move out of state. You know, I guess I could do that, but my wife doesn't want to leave. She's Native American. Her family's been here for thousands of years. She's like, why should I leave California? So of just, you know, the economy, and for us, it's mainly the economy, inflation, rent prices, healthcare. That's how we're feeling it.
So if all of those things are issues for you, what part of the president's policies did you feel like were going to help you in those situations?
You know what? And you know, here's the thing. My main topic and my main reason for voting is anti-war. My dad was a Vietnam vet, 100% disability PTSD. I grew up in a very violent, bad household due to PTSD. I'm anti-war. The first administration, he didn't get us into war. I roll with that. I don't want to be paying for Ukraine. I don't want to be fighting on behalf of Israel. So my main thing was war.
Well, I'm confused because he literally said leading up to the election, he literally said that he would allow Israel to finish the job. Like, he stated that. So when you say you don't want us to be paying for Israel, he stated he would 100% back what Israel is doing. So how does that align with what you're saying?
Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, man. Anytime the Democrats get it, you know, actually, I voted for Obama. I voted for Clinton. I've given everyone a chance to be anti-war. Everybody's been for war. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, that's because we have a military-industrial complex that has a grip on the country. But so let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the soldiers that he got killed in Afghanistan?
I hate it. I don't like it. I want to get out of Iran. Bad mistake. Bad move.
But you know that was specifically because of. Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
How do you feel about the president during his first term making an agreement and signing an agreement with terrorists?
Are you talking about Syria?
No, I'm talking about the contract, the agreement that he made with the Taliban.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that too.
But that agreement in Afghanistan, with the Taliban in Afghanistan is what caused the death of those 13 soldiers in Afghanistan.
Well,
so like, because
that's debatable.
No, it's not debatable, sir. It's not. It's not. Can you share with? Hold on, because this part's important. You said that because you really are talking about being anti-war and how important that is. So on February 29th of 2020, the president signed an agreement with the Taliban specifically. And over the course of the next 11 months, he, despite what the OIG told him, despite reports from the Office of the Inspector General and reports from Congress, he not only reduced our troops by 8,000, right?
Okay.
And left us with 2,500 people there. He also had us give 5,000 Taliban soldiers back to them at the same time. So while we are pulling our troops out, we are giving the enemy double that number back, right? Despite the Taliban never keeping up their end of the agreement, despite them continuing their attacks, continuing their violence, they never once adhered to anything. And that was during the first administration. So I'm wondering how if your number one issue is no wars and how we handle those types of situations, how
Yes.
you could vote for him in 2024.
Well, the way I looked at that situation, it was a pullout that we pulled our military out of Afghanistan.
But what do you know about what the generals told him and
I
about
don't.
the
I
way
see
that the
you
pullout was
just.
done?
Well, you just informed me something right now. I had no idea. So at that time when I voted, I didn't know that. So maybe it was my lack of research or my lack of information, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the way that so if you look, there's a ton of the documents are in my link tree. But he literally entered an agreement with the Taliban. And what's crazy is that he didn't even include the Afghanistan. He didn't include the government in the negotiations, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he continually gave them back their prisoners, invited them to Camp David. As a matter of fact, I don't know any other president that's invited terrorists to Camp David, but he did.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm confused. Like, my father served 2 tours in Vietnam. I served in the military. So did both of my brothers. I would never vote for someone who used bone spurs to not even fucking serve, and think that he's going to be an upstanding commander in chief.
Right.
Especially when he called John McCain and anybody that gets captured in war a loser. Like, he literally he disrespects veterans and military servicemen and women every time he opens his mouth. He used Gold Star families as fucking photo ops for his campaign and disrespected Arlington National Cemetery. I don't understand how you align that with a respect for military and not having wars.
Well, I just look at the big picture, right? I know you guys are getting into personal, and honestly, my dad is a vet, and my dad can't stand Trump. He never has. And I've always debated my dad. You know, my dad never hates Trump. But big picture, I'm just like anti-dropping bombs. I don't want things to escalate to nuclear war. That's my big picture, right? So with the details you're talking about, if I would have known that information, maybe it would have affected my vote.
I mean, he literally threatened nuclear war with North Korea during the first term. He bragged about having his thumb and having a bigger button than North Korea.
Well, and right now, if he continues to use any like nuclear talk, I am in favor of him getting impeached. That's crazy.
But my point is, he did it during the first term. He did all of the things, like all of the things that you're saying right now. He did it during the first term.
So I'm going to bring you back to 2016 when I voted against Hillary. The only reason I voted against Hillary is because Hillary was talking about using nuclear weapons against Russia at that time. It freaked me out. She was talking about, and he was talking about anti-war and not starting no new foreign wars in 2016. That's what
Hillary Clinton never. I need a source for that, because
I have videos. I have. I have that on. Yeah, I would have never not voted for her.
Well, can you give me the source, please?
Sure. I could find. I mean, if I could maybe find the clip and then send it to you at a later time, I can't get it.
Well, because here's the thing. So,
yes.
Yeah. So literally, I just Googled it. Hillary Clinton says she would use nuclear weapons against Russia. Yes. Hillary Clinton, and I'm just going to give you the thing. The rumor is false and misconstrues her past political rhetoric or policy positions on nuclear deterrence. As a presidential candidate and Secretary of State, Clinton supported traditional strategic deterrence and arms control treaties, such as the New START treaty with Russia, but she never threatened or proposed a preemptive or offensive nuclear strike against Russia.
Well,
separate occasions.
Respectfully, I saw it, and I saw it.
So here's what I will say. Here's what I will say.
I would never make a claim.
So here's what I will say. Okay, very clear. It doesn't matter to me because here's what I understand about the day and age in which we live, and things like that. So let me ask you this: have you ever watched there's a documentary called After Truth, and it's the cost of disinformation and fake news and disinformation. Have you ever seen that?
No, but I'm very aware of fake news and information.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you is I literally watched people like Jack Berkman, who is one of the leading Republican political lobbyist dudes. and then talk about using fake videos to spread misinformation in order to win elections. So this would be my thing. So I don't go off of what someone sees in a video, right? I literally will go back and look for the original videos, the original information, like all of those things. I don't know. Did you say you watch Alex Jones? Is that what you said?
I do. I listen to Alex Jones every day.
Okay, so can you share with me what you think is credible about Alex Jones?
His analysis on geopolitical events, very detailed analysis, and it's a balanced reporting. It's not pro or for anybody.
No, Alex Jones is literally one of the most, he is one of the most prolific sources of disinformation on the internet.
Incorrect.
No, it's not incorrect.
Do you listen to Alex Jones?
I've listened to Alex Jones. This is why he got the shit suit out of him for over Sandy Hook. He literally
still on air.
Huh?
And that's why he's still on air.
No, it's not. That's not why he's still on air. That's not why.
He's still on air because we support him financially.
Right, and he loves that about you. He loves the grift. I mean, that's what his entire life has been about. His entire life has been about the grift and about misinformation. So I don't know how long have you watched Alex Jones?
I've been listening to Alex Jones for over 15 years. Can you tell me what his position is on the war in Iran?
Yeah. So let me just be clear. I don't care. Wait, hold on. Listen, because this part's important.
Okay.
I don't care what his personal position is on the war in Iran. I'm going to tell you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I don't care what his personal position is on the war in Iran, right? I care about the facts that he does or doesn't say, and I care about the facts of the actual war on Iran. That's what I care about, right?
And,
so
and you would probably be surprised that he agrees with you 100%.
No, I'm not surprised. I know that he doesn't like the war in Iran, and I don't care. That's one issue. That's one issue. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. So listen, here's the thing. I'm going to give you an example. Tucker Carlson agrees with me about Israel, right?
Yes.
That doesn't mean that Tucker Carlson is not responsible for all of the misinformation and the lies that he said during 2020 and 2021 and throughout the Biden-Harris administration. So just because someone agrees with me on one particular issue doesn't mean all of the things that they have ever said is factually accurate. I give zero fucks about whether or not they personally agree with me. What I care about is the information that they are putting out rooted and grounded in fact? And the reality is that Alex Jones does not give facts.
He shows white papers.
What are white papers?
The white papers are all the documents and all the everything that's ever written up with everything he's presenting. He shows the white papers.
Do you know what the definition of a white paper is?
Well, let me give an example. So, for example, when they're planning on, before COVID hit, and they're planning on how to manipulate the media, the white papers.
So,
how to manipulate the media from disinformation on COVID, right? So he has the white papers, all the information of the communication saying we're going to do this to battle disinformation on the COVID vaccine.
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. He has the white papers. So the documents.
Okay, so let me. Oh, Jesus.
Documented evidence of what I'm saying. That's what it is. It's backing up. Video clips, evidence. Everything is backed up by evidence.
Stop for a moment.
I will not support anything not supported by evidence.
Okay. Stop for a second.
Yes.
Anyone can take a document and a piece of a clip and create a narrative that makes it sound a particular way. Anyone can do that. And they do it a lot. Okay. Here's the difference is getting to the actual root of the information, and the context matters. So the context of, I'm going to give you an example. It is the responsibility of the government, of the country,
Uh-huh.
to protect the health and well-being of the people, especially during a global pandemic. Okay? And regardless of what you think about how we got a global pandemic, the fact is we had one. Okay? And it existed all around the world. Okay? So when you have, and this is the thing that is absolutely wild, is we have never in my lifetime had a global pandemic, right? And when we have had issues that have been of great threat to the majority of the country, what has happened almost always is the refusal of any political party and any politician to politicize that event. That did not happen with COVID. The Republican Party took C-19 and weaponized it into political rhetoric. And the result of that was significant harm to people. And it came on the heels of an extensive campaign to create distrust in both government, science, and even media. And it was like nothing we'd ever seen. There's never been a time where we've seen this happen. Typically, when it comes to something like this, these are things that have been deemed off limits from a political perspective. And that was not the case anymore because there was a particular agenda. Okay?
Dan, I have to cut out right now. My wife just showed up. I really appreciate you educating me. I'm here to listen and have a conversation, and I'm willing to just move forward what's best for our country. But I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Okay. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Folks, somebody holding up papers and telling you that papers say a certain thing is not the same thing as you reading those papers and you knowing the context of those papers and you knowing like all the other things. One source is never enough. One source is never enough. It is why when I sit up here and I talk to you guys, if you guys have never seen have you all watched the documentary on Alex Jones? Yes, honey. Yes, baby. If you have not, please, dear God, do. Please watch the documentary on Alex Jones. Appreciate it, Sandy. Hold on, I'll tell you the name of it. Oh, it's called The Truth versus Alex Jones. Literally, that's the damn name of it. The Truth versus Alex Jones. It's a 2024 documentary film. And in addition to it being about the lawsuits brought against him by the Sandy Hook families, it shows you his background. Yes, baby. I see. It's okay. Yes, babe. Yes. But that's the name of it. It is The Truth versus, what's up, Miss Latasha? It is called The Truth versus Alex Jones. Please watch it.
Is my fingertips surgery?
No. They're in they're down there in that box. Holy jeez. Yeah, you hear her asking me if her tips are sugary because she knows the sugary stuff is what will mess with her stomach.
Open it.
Can you get it? You got it. Good job.
My teacher?
Yeah, she is feeling better. We're literally just waiting on the rest of her labs and stuff from yesterday. Folks, I cannot stress to you how important it is to verify the information that folks are giving to you. I can't stress that enough. It is why when you go to my bio on any of my social media platforms, you will see a link to my link tree, and everything that I discuss, all of the documents are there. And it's not just one document from one place. It is several documents that back up all of the different things. And it's the original things, right? It is the original, because it is so important for folks to know exactly what is and what is not. And literally listen to me, just because you watch one clip doesn't make it so. Can I give you guys an example? Okay, so this was literally me the other day. The other day I saw he ended up leaving Carla because I don't know, his wife came home and whatever. But so listen, so the other day I saw like a snippet of a clip, and it was a woman who is the former executive vice chair of Oracle. Okay. And the clip said that she was at this conference and she was speaking on a panel, and it was about Oracle giving these horrific weapons to Israel. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? But the clip that I saw was literally like 20 seconds long, something like that. And I was like, where the fuck is she speaking? Like, where is this? Okay, so listen, I went looking. I was like, when was this? Where was this? How did this happen? And I dug and dug and dug until I got the original video. And I have it pulled up. Why? Because it was, and not only did I find the original, right? But then I found a secondary interview that she did talking about the same thing. So her name is Safra Katz, Safra. Last name is Katz. And she spoke at the IAC, which is the Israeli American Council. And she literally spoke. I'm on their website. This is from 2025. So understand what happened. I just want y'all to hear me. I saw this itty bitty clip off of somewhere on Instagram or Facebook or some fucking where. And I was like, wait, where does it say she was speaking? When did she say she was speaking? Like, where was this event? And so I dug until I ended up going to their exact website, and I found the whole conference, because I was like, surely this is not the name of the conference, but it was. So listen, the Saturday panel that she was on, and I'm going to share my screen from over here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say you must do your due diligence. Okay. So when I went here, I'm showing it. If you're on YouTube or Facebook or Substack or Twitch, you can see it. But I went to the Israeli American Council's website. Their website is IAC360.org. That's their website. And I found their 2025 conference. And then I found the panel. I'm going to tell you the name of the panel that she was on. Are you ready? The name of the panel is called, it's the Saturday panel, Taboo Investing, Zionism in Tech. That's the name of the damn conference, the panel that she was speaking on. Taboo Investing, Zionism in Tech. And then in this clip, this is the whole panel. Yeah, y'all. On this panel, she talks about Oracle having some really nasty technology and them ensuring that Israel had access to it for what they were doing against Gaza. So when I pulled this up, I just pulled the entire panel up, right?
Welcome to Taboo Investing, Zionism in Tech.
I'm just going to play part of this so that you all can hear what's being said. Okay, you ready? So listen at the beginning.
Welcome to Taboo Investing, Zionism in Welcome to Taboo Investing, Zionism in Tech. Our amazing speakers. I'll start with introducing our moderator, Jor Globerman. Jor is a renowned public speaker, content creator, and acclaimed broadcaster and journalist. He's the author of the Skip Intro weekly newsletter and co-hosts Israel's leading and award-winning tech podcast, While You Were Working. The podcast airs weekly on Kesha 12, Israel's most viewed TV channel. Additionally, he hosts the innovation show, The Future Now, on Galei Tzahal, the national radio station. Globerman has been covering innovation and technology for over 2 decades for Israel's largest media outlets. He's the creator of the documentary series, The Battle of the Brain, which delves into social and algorithms influence on human society. Jor is also a lecturer at several in artificial intelligence on various aspects of human life. He's known for his ability to communicate complex technological stories and their economic, societal, and public implications in an appealing and captivating way, making him a sought-after lecturer among global enterprises and national entities. And now our speakers, I'll start with Safra Katz. Safra is the Chief Executive Officer of Oracle Corporation and a member of the company's board of directors. At Oracle, she previously served as President, Chief Financial Officer, Executive Vice President, and Senior Vice President. She's also a lecturer on the faculty of Stanford Graduate School of Business. She's been a member of the board of directors of the Oracle Education Foundation since its founding in 2000 and has served as chair since 2004. Safra is on the board of trustees of InQtel. Previous to Oracle, she held various positions at Donaldson, Lufkin, and Generette, including many.
Remember, this is the Israeli American Council's event. She is speaking on taboo investing, Zionism in tech. So what I want to do is see if I can get to you this part. Where she is talking about ensuring that Israel had access to Oracle's nasty stuff. So let me see if I can find the clip.
Israeli tech and Oracle is very dominant in the arena. And I want to ask you, I guess some of the employees, of course, were drafted to reserve service. Did the Israeli branch, stood up for challenges if you compare it to other branches that you have all across the globe?
Okay, so first, I was in the Kiryat, and I go in and I meet with everyone you'd imagine I meet with. And on my way out, I run into, 5 of my team who are all in uniform working. And to be honest with you, it's like
5 of her team are in Israeli uniform working.
Proudest moment, okay? Just being there and doing a group photo. And the reality is we had our best year ever. Our teams were incredible. In fact, when I visit customers in Israel, after October 7th, I visit customers and I want to talk about the war. They want to talk about how business is going. They want to tell me how my team has shown up for them and made them successful. And the reality is that everyone just perseveres through. It was hard, let's admit. Right after October 7th, a lot of people were in uniform and were all over the place. In fact, my only LinkedIn post ever is liking my Oracle Israel chair, where he had a video of my people all over in uniform saying Yachad Ninatzeach. And the reality is
yeah, we persevered, but we overcame. And if there was only one message I could say is right now we're in it, but we have a very long history. We've had very hard times. No time have we been as strong as we are now. We will look back on this as an enormous achievement, and we will be way above it by then.
Yeah, she's talking about her Oracle folks that are in the Israeli office being in IDF uniform. Yeah, this is what she's talking about. And so let me see if I can get to the next clip.
Well, Safra, I told you before, I paid a visit to Oracle Israel offices about 2-3 months ago just to discuss generative AI in business, and they explained to me what Oracle was doing. It was very nice, but before they had to tell me, do you know what Safra did during the last months? And I was, no. And they told me unbelievable stories that many Israelis, and definitely abroad, were not necessarily aware of. And can I ask you, Safra, to don't want to say brag, but tell a little bit, how did you and Oracle respond to October 7th?
Well, first of all, the one thing that we did that was the most public was that on our website, it said we stand with Israel, but not
on all of Oracle's websites in every language. They put "We stand with Israel." Listen,
but not on only our Israeli website or only our American website, but our global websites in local language. Now, it wasn't like one of those little "We stand with Israel" on the corner. It wasn't one of those where it shifts around, you see "We stand with Israel," then it's like "Come to Cloud World," come to, buy a t-shirt. No, you could not get past it. Like, you hit our website in an Arab country and you saw your entire screen filled with an Israeli flag, which said, not only "We stand with Israel," we stand with our employees in Israel. We stand with the people of Israel. We stand with the military establishment of Israel.
We stand with the military establishment. This is the CEO of Oracle. I just need you all to hear. Listen to the rest.
And we also had a link on where to donate to Magen David Adom. And I don't know early on, I remember it was like 15 million shekel had already been, but then, I stopped asking what it was, the donation, but it must be something because Magen David Adom thanked me. And that was, that was to make a point. And we can talk about that maybe at the end on what that meant and how all these different countries reacted, because that's really interesting. And of course, we did anything and everything we could for our employees, literally. We paid them months extra, even if they weren't there, and just extra. And I will tell you, my employees donated a lot of that for children. And, and we continue to support. One of our employees lost his son in the early fighting. And, we're just one big family, but all of Oracle globally embraces our Israeli team. And when I travel around the world in countries you would not expect, I get thanked by just random Oracle employees and others for our stand with Israel, which I think would surprise a lot of you.
So I stumbled upon this because I saw this one little 20-second clip. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And you guys haven't even heard the clip that I saw. So remember, this is the Israeli American Council. This is their big event. She's speaking on a Saturday panel called Taboo Investing, Zionism in Tech, right? And she's all about it. So let me just see really.
I also heard from some of your employees, who I can't name names, that you made some managerial decisions, shifts of workforce, shifts of projects, rushing to build infrastructure with Israel in mind. Do you want to elaborate, or am I going to bubble now?
There's a few things that we did that I really can't talk about, to be honest, because to advance the agenda for the Israeli military.
There's a few things that we did, to be honest, to advance the agenda for the Israeli military. This is the CEO of Oracle talking, folks. Listen.
But our teams did a lot. We have some really profoundly scary technology at Oracle, and we wanted to make sure that it was available for the effort. Let's just say that. Okay.
We have some really profoundly scary tech at Oracle. Listen to me. We have some profoundly scary tech at Oracle, and we did what we needed to do to make sure that it was available for Israel's effort. Let's just say that. So, this is what I mean when I say do your due diligence. Because here's the thing. The clip that I had, here's what the clip said. The clip said that the name of the panel, but it didn't show me like where it was, and it didn't give me the date, right? It didn't give me enough. So I wasn't sure that the clip was accurate, right? And so I literally was like, I went on the hunt until I got to the real video of the conference on their website. So now I know without a doubt that I can talk about Oracle and what Oracle did for Israel. And I can talk about Oracle's position with Israel, and that Oracle played a significant role in the killing of over 70,000 Palestinians, because I heard the fucking CEO of Oracle bragging about what they did for Israel. I heard the CEO of Oracle saying, we put Oracle stands not only with Israel, but with our teams in Israel and with the Israeli military. And I heard the CEO of Oracle say, we have some profoundly scary tech, and we did whatever we needed to do to make sure that that was available for Israel's effort in Gaza. So that is what you call being responsible. And I just need people to understand that is the difference. It's not just saying, oh, I saw a video that said this thing. It's, where did that video originate from? Has that video, is it a clip of a larger section? What else is said in the context of that clip, right? Because I'm sure that you can take 20 seconds of anything and make it sound like whatever. But what is the context of the conversation? And so now I can tell you for sure, what is the context of this conversation? And so I just think it's really important for people to understand just how significant this is. And Larry Ellison, for those of you guys that are asking, is the Chief Technology Officer of Oracle. He's also who owns TikTok. What up, Larry? What the fuck up, Larry? But I just think it's really important for people to connect those dots and to know. And it is no, so can I give you another dot to connect? Hold on, I'm going to give you another dot to connect. So I'm going to show you a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu saying what the most important weapons are in war today. And I just, hold on, let me give it to you. Give me 1 second. Yeah, he said TikTok and X. So listen, one of the questions that he's being asked from this girl is, what do we do if, and she's saying, what do we do if Christians in America stop supporting Israel? That's the question that she asked. So give me a second. And I'm hoping that this is the longest clip, but I'm not sure. So this is at Israel in the, this was in New York. This is September of 2025. So give me a second. Hey, M. Tom. Oh, and if this isn't the best clip, I'll try to get another one. But this was the first one that came up that I know is what we need. Okay, so here we go.
Influencers. Okay. You said talked about the woke right. You said I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke right, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're no reason. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok. Now,
he said the most important purchase going on right then was TikTok. Listen.
Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight. Okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpart? Yes.
So that's literally Bibi Netanyahu telling you that the purchase of TikTok is consequential for Israel and that he wanted it to go through. Yes, baby. No, I'm afraid your belly. That's good because that's spicy. Okay. So maybe get like a Nutri-Grain bar, like your fruit bar. It depends on what it is.
This one is spicy.
Okay, yeah, one that's not spicy. But so this is when you have to connect the dots. This is when you have to go, oh, Oracle, Larry Ellison, TikTok, Larry Ellison, right? CNN, Paramount, whatever. And you have to continue to connect those dots and understand that there is a reason. Oh, Teresa, this has been posted. I've been talking about this thing for damn near a year. That was in September of 2025. I have talked about this video for almost a year now. Now, the Oracle one, I haven't. But literally, there's a reason. There is a reason certain content gets shadow banned. Yes, baby. No, you can have that one. Hey, that one's ranch flavored, Mila. You might not like that. That one's ranch. Huh? You like it? Okay, go ahead. So it's just really important for folks to understand what this is. Right. And other content gets elevated. So have you all noticed that if I were on TikTok and I went into any of the platforms where they are screaming and calling each other slurs, debating about race, there's easily 500, 600 people in the room all right there, right? Because they want that. That's divisive content and they want it elevated. This content where you're getting facts and you're getting information and we are having discussions, not debates. We are having fact-based conversations, right? You see them, yeah, right? And so it's really, really important for people to know that. So yeah, just it is what it is. Miss Natasha, you wanted to say something? Miss Natasha, did you mean to request up? No, ma'am. I got you. No worries. I knew when she first came up and she didn't say something immediately. I was like, she was just tapping, which I appreciate. But these are the things. So this is why it is really important to give really fact-based information and to do your own due diligence so that you know where the information is coming from and the context of that information, and so that you can connect the dots. Y'all, so many people are being played. Y'all are being played. I knew when James brought his ass up here what he was going to talk about. As soon as he said, I want to know what you think about, I knew what he was going to say. And then when he said, I know sometimes you say it's a distraction, I really knew what he was going to think about. I really knew. Because it's that distraction. People just go, oh, and they're not focused on the real issues. And people aren't focused enough about like what is the actual mechanism of power that you have. You want to change the issues, you want to change the things, then get focused on like the stuff that really truly matters and what we are working towards, and what this is your opportunity. Like really, this November 3rd. Yeah, comments help, Jeff. So do likes, so do shares, all of those things. Hakeem, who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. But it's really important. Oh, BB, of course. Yeah, because he wants to make it about that when it's not. And listen, I'm just going to be very, very clear. You want to know the people responsible for a lot of the increase in anti-Jewish rhetoric? Blame the country of Israel. Blame the IDF. Blame Bibi Netanyahu. Those are the people that want to make it about. Those are the people that want to make it about being Jewish. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with being Jewish. It has something to do with being an apartheid state, right? That is committing a genocide in front of the whole fucking world. That's what it has to do with. That's it. People do not like the Israeli government because the Israeli government is illegally occupying Palestine, Libya, Syria, Lebanon. Did I say Libya? Lebanon, Syria. Like, that's why. That's why. Because people are watching Israeli settlers accompanied by and supported by the IDF committing genocide, attacking nuns in the West Bank, Christians, Palestinians, anybody that's not Jewish, not Israeli. Yes, Zionism is not Judaism at all. Zionism is its whole other thing. Just to be really clear. So, I mean, I am always going to be very direct about this particular thing, because now that I know accurately, I don't want to say I know better, I know accurately, right? I'm going to respond, and I'm going to share, and I'm going to inform accurately, not from a biased perspective. Keith, we don't say death to anyone in this chat. So you can go away with that, or you can change your verbiage. So seriously speaking, folks, this is the part that is incredibly important. Thanks, Nikki. Folks, I don't know if people really and truly understand where we are and what a critical juncture that we are at. If the American people, oh my sweet baby Jesus, crazy ass, sorry y'all. So, no, there is an election that's coming up in Israel. There is one that's coming up. Yeah, bogus calls. Somebody don't like what I'm saying, and I really don't care. Snarly Sue, did you mean to request up? Yeah, it's in October. Yeah, so Israel has an election in October, and then ours is in November. But folks, listen, you really want to stop. So, okay, so if you're with me a lot, then, and you were with me when I went over some of the deals that we did for Israel, right? Then you already know this. But some of you all might not know this. How many of you all know that we are set to deliver an additional 35,500 bombs to Israel next year? How many of you all know that? If you didn't know that, put a 1 in the chat. I went over this document a while back. So listen. And they're the bad ones too. Not that there's any good bomb, but they are like the M84s. 35,000 kV. Yeah. So listen, we did a deal, and it is $2 billion. And it was part of a larger $3 billion weapons deal. And it includes, listen to this, 35,529 MK84 and BLU 117 bunker buster bomb bodies. Those are 1-ton bunker busters. And we're going to give them an additional 4,000, 1 to 2,000 penetrator warheads. So tell me again that they want peace, because they don't. So hold on, I got something else to tell you. So if you all don't know about these MK84s, the MK84 bomb that we are talking about was actually used by Israel to virtually vaporize almost 3,000 Palestinians. I need y'all to hear me, and I'm going to tell you how that happens. The MK-84s, it is packed with around 945 pounds of tritonol high explosive. When it is detonated and it gets with the oxygen, so it reaches up to 6,332 degrees Fahrenheit. It reaches 6,332 degrees Fahrenheit. I talked about this quite a bit. And so I'm gonna pull up one of the articles. You can find articles about this in Science Direct, Al Jazeera, and several others, but this is the fact. So nearly 3,000 Palestinians were vaporized on August 10th, 2024. August 10th, 2024. So 2,842 Palestinians were quote unquote evaporated since October of 2023. It leaving behind no remains other than like blood spray or small fragments of flesh. And it is because the MK-84s reach 6,300 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's horrible. I'll show you all what it looks like. I have showed you guys plenty of times, but I'm going to show you again. So this is what the bomb itself looks like, and this is the hole that it leaves when it is utilized. I'm just going to show you that this is it. We give them to them. It's a 2,000-pound bomb, and this is the crater that it leaves. And we're sending 35,000 more of them. Okay, we'll plug it up, sissy. We'll plug it up. What? I gave you the cord already. Ask Bella to help you. Where is my knowledge on this from? I do a lot of researching and double checking multiple sources. Championess. It's from me and literally multiple sources. So I've shared this with people before. I don't watch mainstream. No, they're not banned. Sin, we make them. No, they're not banned. Yeah. I think it's just really important that people understand that. So when I say that we are complicit in a genocide, I mean it. When I say that the United States of America is committing war crimes, I mean it. We are violating our own laws. Every human rights organization around the world talks about what Israel is doing. Including B'Tselem, which is in Israel. What? She picked something on the TV? So you,
but when you finish, but it's my turn to pick one.
Okay.
And Bella just picked. I'm not away.
Okay. Hey, Belle, can we take turns, please? And let Mila pick something. Thank you. I think that it's important for folks to become accurately informed. Yeah, Nancy G, she's getting better. We're just waiting on her last bit of lab work and stuff. But she's definitely better than she was for sure. To me, I believe that this is our responsibility. So when people ask me, what can we do? When people ask me, what can we do about ICE? When people ask me, what can we do about the funding for Israel? When people ask me, what can we do about SNAP and Medicaid? My answer is the same. The answer is November 3rd. That's the answer. The answer is elect different people into Congress, vote other people out of Congress, become accurately informed, stop getting into the minutia and the bullshit, stop getting distracted. The shortest path to stabilizing the country and getting us to a place where this is a stable, democratic, constitutional republic is through elections and Congress. That's the fastest route. And for those of all that are like, oh, we need a revolution and we need whatever, so tell me your revolutionary fucking plan. Tell me your revolutionary plan. What does it look like exactly? How are you going to go about it? What are the steps? And not only what are the steps, but what are the steps that are actionable? How do people do it? How do people live while they do it? How do people survive? Tell me what that looks like for you, for real, right? And how long is it going to take? Because I can tell you what mine looks like. I can tell you exactly what mine looks like and how long it takes. I can tell you that in 8 months or less, a couple of things can immediately happen. Number one, we can vote and stop funding for Israel. Number two, right, we can have the ERA added to the Constitution. Number three, we can do another budget reconciliation package and reverse engineer it and put the money back from SNAP and Medicaid, take the $75 million from ICE. We could do all of that. Literally 8 months or less. Yep. Then we can begin government accountability. By summer of 2027, we can begin to impeach and hold accountable members of this cabinet that are giving misinformation, inaccurate information, and hurting the public, right? No, that's enough. So that is Linda McMahon, that is RFK Jr., that is Pete Hegseth, that is Todd Blanche, that is all of those individuals, right? What do you tell those that say that all politicians are the same and won't vote? So, sir, tell them to come see me, because let me just tell you this. Actually, you don't. So you only need the 60 if somebody's going to try a filibuster. That's it. And let me be very fucking clear about something, folks. Nowhere in Project 2025 does it say, oh, if we don't get 60 votes, we're fucked. Nowhere does it say that. They focus on what they can achieve, and then they work their fucking asses off to make it happen. And they apply the pressure needed to get whatever is required to get it passed. No one looking at Project 2025 thought that they would get half the shit through that they've done. And they did, because they didn't sit around and think of every possible obstacle that will keep them from achieving their goals. No, they set their fucking goals and they set out a way to go after them. And when they met opposition, they figured out how to pivot, apply pressure, and get it done. And if we do not get that damn serious about making things happen, we will be fucked. Yes. If you can give me a minute. Did you eat goo at mommy's house? No? Okay, that's part of the problem. So give me a second and I will get it from mommy's. I don't have a single bit of this naysaying attitude, folks. None of it. I'm not here for it. I literally can show you in 2.5 years In 2.5 years, with consistency and effort, I can show you which counties in 12 to 15 states to go after, all of them with margins of 10% or less. I can show you what percentage of those counties voted third party. I can show you what percentage of those voters were registered to vote and didn't vote. I can show you exactly which people that we need to impeach, which people that we need to remove and prosecute. I can show you how we get the ERA added. I can show you how we do budget reconciliation. I can show you how we get the forestry refunded, right? I can show you every bit of that. And anybody that says, oh, all politicians are the same, I shouldn't bother with voting, I just call bullshit. That's your excuse to be fucking lazy. That's your excuse to not be accountable for who you are. Anybody that says, oh, there's nothing I can do, that is your excuse to not be accountable. That's what that is. And you can miss me with it. Because I'm just not here for it. If you, give me 1 second. I just want you all to really stop and think about the things that can be done. Do you all know with a simple majority, we can have the Disclose Act passed? How many of you all, and if you're my people and you learned about it from me, you can't say yes, but how many of you all who did not learn about it from me know what the Disclose Act is? Who knows what the Disclose Act is? Citizens United isn't a law, sir, so you can't repeal it, right? What you can do, though, is put forward legislation that effectively nullifies it, right? You don't? Okay, so the Disclose Act is a piece of legislation. It was introduced this year. It was also introduced in 2010, right after Citizens United was decided by the Supreme Court. And the Disclose Act doesn't say that corporations can't spend money in elections, right? Because the Supreme Court said that that's their First Amendment right, okay? But what it does do is it says, listen, it guarantees transparency. So it makes them disclose who it is that's behind the money, which is what they don't want to do, right? And Congress has not passed it in 16 years. Republicans have blocked it every single year. And it was introduced again this year by a Democrat. And here's what I'm telling you. If you can do the Disclose Act and campaign finance reform at the same time, you can pretty much nullify the impact of Citizens United. That's what can be done. And so this is what I'm saying. If you so folks, here's my concern. You're welcome, Demi. This is my concern. My concern is that there's not enough people with significant platforms accurately informing and organizing and mobilizing people. That's my concern. I missed it. What conversation would I be happy having? Yes. Okay. DJ, when you say you can't research people's brains unless you make politicians take a lie detector test, I'm not interested in a lie detector test because people can beat them They're not conclusive, and I'm not trying to research people's brains. I'm literally interested in policy and initiatives. Like I literally yeah. I'm My concern is that there aren't enough people that really truly want to do the work. Yeah, and exactly, Jeff. And I'm not doing the trust rabbit hole. I'm doing the accountability hole, because that is the accountability is where it lies. And if we want to do something, yes, Mila, you took it over there. So let me just be clear. So Melinda, I literally spent, I don't know, 30 minutes on Sirius XM last night, talking about Project for the People and what it is and how we get moving. We have people in 50 states. We are in 550 counties across the country, with people that are utilizing the information that I've put together for them, right? So I have put together, Veronica, I have put together an entire Google Drive that is full of data and resources and graphics and sources of information for people to share in their communities, in their circles of influence. Give me 1 second. Hey, I don't know what is happening, but that's enough.
I trying to tell Bella just she can help me find my phone.
Bella, help your sister, please. Bella, are you looking at me? Help your sister find her phone, please. So, yeah, we have all 50 states. I was on the Dean Abdallah show last night. It's channel 127. No worries, Dolphin. Yeah, I know, Veronica. She's just about back to normal. And they're just both being a lot right now. But it's okay. So really quickly, yeah, 127, and it's specifically, it was the Dean Abdallah show. But real quick, so for those, let me ask you this, for those of you all who are new to me, if you are new to me and you've never seen anything about Project for the People, put a 1 in the chat, please. If you are new to me and you, Cam, shut up, Alex, shut up. No, you're not. Kathy, Titus, y'all just big liars right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you just very briefly, folks. So, see this? So I literally went through, you guys can't see over here because my hand is up on TikTok showing a screen. But so literally, here's what I did. I went through the election data of 12 of our states for the last 5 years worth of federal elections. And all 12 of those states had margins of 10% or less in 2024. And then I went through every county in every single one of those states, and I found every county that had margins of 10% or less for the last 5 years worth of federal elections, and for the majority of them. And then I put them in a list. So in Michigan, it looks like this, where you have 16 counties. And then if you look at this top square right up here, right, that what's in yellow and what those colors are, those are congressional House districts that those counties have in common. And then I looked at how many of those people in those counties voted third party, and then how many of them were registered to vote and didn't vote at all. So then it gives you a game plan, right? And so it looks like this. So in Michigan, They lost the presidential election, Democrats did, by 80,103 votes. In just 16 of their 83 counties, 47,000 people voted third party. That's 59% of the deficit. 1.1 million people were registered to vote and didn't vote in those 16 counties. That's 1,400% of the damn deficit, right? In just 4 of those 16 counties, you could cut their largest 60-40 district in half by the people that were registered to vote and didn't vote and those that voted third party, okay? So that's part one. Hella, Raja. That's part one of Project for the People. It is getting serious about winning elections and basing that strategy off of the actual numbers and the data. And then it's about building connection through conversations that actually matter. So I made a Google Drive. And see this Google Drive? It has broken down by congressional districts and states, right? So your data centers, your Medicaid, your poverty levels, your voter registration deadlines. It looks like showing you in your congressional districts in English and in Spanish how many people are going to lose their Medicaid and how many people are going to lose their SNAP benefits because of the one big barbaric bill, right? You see that? There are graphics throughout the entire Google Drive for every single state and every single congressional district across the deal. So Jeff, I haven't done hospital deserts yet. It's on the list, but so this is where we are. See? Then we've got nationwide resources, potential legislations, the overview where you can follow the webinar. And then there's a sources folder because everything that, every graphic that's in here, I actually give you the source for where that documentation and information came from. Data centers by congressional district as well. And then we have another series called 3 Things We Can Get Done in 2027. So that includes getting the ERA added to the Constitution. That includes budget reconciliation. That includes funding the forestry. That includes codifying Roe v. Wade into law. That includes the Disclose Act. That includes just several different things that we can get done easily and efficiently doing those things. So other things that are coming are Voting Rights Act. The other things that are there. So Snarly, this is not in my bio. My link tree is in my bio. Project for the People is this QR code right here. Or you can go to, I bought a domain name. If you go to makingamericatruly.great.com and you register there, you then get an email from me with a link to the Google Drive. And I only ask for 2 things. I ask when you get into this Google Drive, folks, don't share the Google Drive, share the domain name, because I actually track how everything is going. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay. So when I say I track it, I put it on a map. I have to do a new map. This is the old map. And so the old map still shows us in 48 states. But these are all the people that have, these are all the people that have registered. But we're now in 50 states and 550 counties, right? And so that is why I asked for you to share the domain name, which is makingamericatruly.great.com. And then just share the content of what's in the Google Drive. And then the only other thing that I ask is that you do not take the watermarks off of the graphics, because it ain't your fucking work. So leave it on there. Because just saying, you don't want that kind of karma coming for you. Okay. Appreciate you, God. So, we meet every other Thursday, and what we do I got you, Miss Latasha, I'm coming. So on every other Thursday, we go over whatever the new graphics are. We role play on how to have conversations with people, how to talk about the information that's in the Google Drive. And then we talk about how to mobilize, how to organize, how to work within our circles of influence, right? And this is a trick that I want to give to you guys. I want you to think about something there. If you put your life in circles, if this is circle number 1 is whatever you can control, which is just you. Circle number 2 is your circle of influence. That's your friends, your family, your social media following, your peers, your coworkers, your community, your neighbors, right? Circle number 3, and I have housing that I need to do graphics for. Circle number 3 is anything else. So if you cannot control it or influence it, it's in circle number 3 for you. Now, the thing to remember is your circle number 3 is somebody else's circle number 1 or circle number 2. So as long as 75% or 80% of your effort and energy is in circles 1 and 2, you'll actually get some shit done. The problem is most people spend 75% of their time arguing, debating, and talking about circle 3 shit that they don't have anything to do with, which doesn't impact their daily life. And that's why we are where we are. Because then you get to avoid accountability. There's somewhere in my link tree, Jeff Cook. Sounds good. Coolest mom ever. Miss Natasha, where you at? You said you had a question, but I don't see you now. Right, Jeff, like ship names. So in my link tree, yes, the link to sign up for Project for the People is in the link tree. Yeah, it's literally makingamericatruly.great.com. That's it. I don't, Miss Natasha, I don't see you. You're not in the request boxes. Carrie J, did you mean to request up? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question, because I've been going to our meetings on Wednesdays, on Thursdays in my own district, and what's happening? I'm down the TV. And what's happening? They really are demonizing the progressive candidates. Really, really, really bad.
Who is?
I mean, even though people are coming to these meetings.
Who is? When you say they are demonizing them, who?
Who's ever putting all these negative ads out? It's a. I guess I need to get named because I turn it every time I hear them. But they are set up in the meeting Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have all these farmers. We have a lot of farm foreclosures here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so they're in the meeting crying, talking about it's better to vote for the devil I know than the devil I don't know, because what they're saying is this. I have them all written down in my notes, but the candidates they're saying now that this new progressive congressman and governor, Democratic side, is pushing Sharia law.
Sharia
law,
mm-hmm.
and that they're promoting Middle Easterns coming in to buy out all Oklahoma's land, and so they just put all this fear tactics in. So in this meeting, all these people could talk about. I mean, haven't we been here before? The lies and the untruths, and you believe the lies and untruths, and now your farms are in foreclosure.
Right. So the meeting is the meeting a partisan meeting, or what's the meeting for?
It's supposed to be a bipartisan meeting.
Okay.
It's talking about what's best for Oklahoma.
Okay, I got you.
And political people will come and talk, and these are supposed to be concerned people, but people are in dire straits and they're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Now, with this big, beautiful bill, you have people who are foreclosing on their homes and on their farms, applying for food stamps and not able to get them.
Yeah.
Because you got to jump through all kinds of hoops now to get food stamps, when it used to be easier. And then those who are getting food stamps can no longer buy certain snacks.
Yes.
Yeah. Their kids.
Yeah.
Any longer in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah. Tennessee did the same thing.
And my question to you is, and I'm taking notes, because I listen to you, Dani, and I take notes. But when I get to these meetings, sometimes I get tongue-tied and frustrated. I'm not as patient as you. And maybe I need to come and pay for you to come down here and come to one of our meetings, because it's getting serious, it's getting scary. People are scared, but they're scared for stupid reasons.
Yeah.
You're talking about the devil you know, the devil you thought you knew was going to help you, and the devil ain't doing a damn thing for you.
Right.
And I said that, you're being disrespectful.
So
I'm like, but I need help, Dani.
Okay, I got you. So
I tried.
Okay. So one of the things that when I talk to people is I love to ask questions. Okay, because that's the way. So remember this, folks. When you are talking to people, when you say it, they doubt it. When they say it, they believe it. Okay. So first thing is, if somebody is saying to me, the devil I know is better than the devil I don't know. Tell Tina Turner that, because Ike was whipping that ass, and that is a fear tactic. When people say the devil I know is better than the devil I don't, you're assuming that the other person is a devil, and the truth is you don't know that. So that's number one. That's just like a bullshit. So you've got to understand, anytime somebody gives you, so do y'all remember, see, I keep saying I need to do another one. We're going to schedule a workshop. So I used to do them once a month, and we haven't done them in a really long time because I've been working on projects with people. So I need to do a workshop. And because the title of the workshop is how to have affecting conversations with people of opposing views, something to that effect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I ask in the workshops always is, what is an objection? When someone gives you an objection to something, what is an objection? What do y'all think an objection is? When you ask somebody to do something, or somebody gives you an objection and says, no, I'm not voting, or no, I'm not voting for something, what is an objection?
Really, objection is something, I think they object because they're not clear about something.
Exactly. So every time you get it, yep. So an objection is just a request for more information. Okay. So remember that anytime somebody is giving you an objection, it's because they don't have enough information. So that's number one. Okay. When is the best time to overcome an objection?
I would think right then and there, no?
Let's see what else the chat says. So Invisible Strength says in the moment. Cheryl says information. So nope, the best time is before you get it. You want to, yes, before you get it. So listen, you know these folks. You already know what the objections are going to be. You know what they're going to have to say. So you want to answer those objections before they even come up. Before they even come up, I'm going to answer your objection. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example, Miss Natasha. If I had my little 3 minutes to talk to your group, I don't know if y'all do 3 minute shit or whatever, right? But if this,
Robert rules, and we can give our minutes to other people, but go ahead.
Okay, so this would be my thing. So I already know these are the objections: socialism, communism, Sharia law, Muslims. Hold on a second. Girl, no, it's just all the bullshit they all say. So no, so I know what those are going to be, right? So for me, this is what I'm going to say about all of those things. Oh my gosh, sweet baby Jesus. None of my parents want to work. It's okay. So this is what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, all right, so listen, I've got 3 minutes and here's what I'm going to share with you all. Anytime the country is coming up on an election, the most common tactic that is used is fear tactics, right? And there are some fear tactics that we've heard for the last 50, 60 years in this country: socialism, communism, and Muslims, right? We've heard that all the time. And sometimes we hear it regard to immigrants or trans people, right? All of those things have been utilized and weaponized to cause fear and harm. And what I'm going to ask first and foremost is that the place that you want to vote from? And are they things that you should actually be scared of? And so one of the things as a veteran that I've been taught is that whenever something is scary to me, the first thing that I have to ask is it a real danger? Is it a realistic danger? That's number one. And number two, is it imminent? So is it realistic that if 5 progressives win, all of a sudden the United States of America is going to become a socialist country or a communist country? No. Okay. Is it imminent? Even if it was going to go down the road to socialism or communism, how long would that take? Because you would have to change your constitution. You would have to need 38 states to ratify any changes to the constitution. So is socialism or communism something that would be imminent to the country? No. So that means whatever the fears are around socialism and communism, they're not pertinent to our discussions about midterms or the presidential election because they're not real and they're not imminent. Number two, how long have we had immigration in this country? Since Europeans got here. Right? Since Europeans got here. And so other than Europeans, tell me another time that immigration has come to the United States of America and taken over or killed us or changed how people can practice religion. It hasn't. So again, not real, not realistic, other than Europeans. Exactly. Right? So does socialism, communism, trans people, immigrants, any of that stuff, Sharia law, because I doubt anybody in here could even tell me what Sharia law is, okay? But since we know none of those things are real and none of those things are imminent. I know they can't, but follow me.
They couldn't even tell me what's up, because I asked that question.
Because they don't. Okay, so listen. So since we can all agree, and let me know right now if you don't agree with me. If you do not agree that socialism, communism, immigration, Sharia law, and Muslims are real and imminent threats to the country, right? Can we all agree that that's not what we should be voting on? Anybody? And I would literally pause. I would literally pause. Pretend that we're at a wedding ceremony. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay? Yes, Mila. Please don't touch each other. Bella, did you pinch her?
She did.
Okay, girls. And then if nobody ever said anything, I would say, okay, so listen, you can't bring it up later. If you're not going to bring it up right now, you can't bring it up later. Okay? And then when nobody brings it up, this would be the next thing that I would say. Okay? So these are the things that I believe are important that we should be, hey! Absolutely not. Yeah, that's not, no more. So speak now, forever hold your peace, because after this, we're not talking about socialism, communism, immigrants, Sharia law, or Muslims anymore. So the things that I believe we should be voting on are healthcare, education, housing, and economic mobility. If you agree with that, let me know. Yeah? Okay, so let's talk about that. Does our current Congress work for us in terms of healthcare? Does our current Congress work for you economically? No? So let's talk about that policy. So can we look at all of our candidates and look at what their policies are? Not just what they say they're for, but do they actually have a plan for implementation? Because that's the conversation I want to have. We've never accomplished anything great from a place of fear. And what I'm not going to do is shape the Congress and shape the country from a place of fear. They don't call this the land of the free and the home of the brave because I'm supposed to be scared of some shit that's not even happening. And then I would start to talk about.
We had that conversation, and you have to understand this group. This group is about 200 people. Some of them are religious. We have pastors, we have vets, BHW, BSW, You know, so it's a hodgepodge of people, but these are people are hurting and they have. But the thing is, what's going on right now is you can say that because if you ask them what socialism, or communism, or any of that is, they couldn't give you a definition of any of that.
I know they
The
can't.
only thing they know is or believe, and the only thing they believe is they thought Obama was a socialist president. But the lady said, "Well, our lives are better. Our farms were not being foreclosed on under Obama." I was like, "Okay, that's my way in. That's my way in." You know, but you have every 3 minutes you have a commercial in Oklahoma TV talking about Sharia law, talking about communism, talking about socialism, talking about this progressive candidate.
Yes.
You know, that progressive is a bad word.
Yeah, and so this would be my thing. So okay, so do you want to role play it? Do you want to pretend to be them and I'll be you?
Okay. But they promised us, you know, this current administration promised us that they would do better for us. We just have to give him time.
Okay, so how much time can your farm afford to give him?
Okay, that's a good one, Dad.
Keep going, stay in character. So how much time can your farm afford to give him?
Yeah, about how we can trust these foreigners, these progressive people coming in.
But wait.
They're gonna steal off our farm.
Okay, hold on. Because hold on before we, because we'll go there. But first, I really need, in order for us to have a productive conversation, I need you to answer that first question for me. How? Because I'm fine if you say, hey, listen, I still believe that this president and this Congress can make a difference. I just need to give them time. I really want to understand how much time can your farm afford to give him? How much time do you have?
Come back. See, you guys.
Nope. Stay in damn character, Natasha. Stay in character.
Okay, I'm writing notes. Okay, I can't multitask. I'm writing notes.
I will clip this, girl, and send it to you.
Okay.
Stay in character. You are them. So how much time can your farm afford to give him?
I don't have any more time.
Okay, so
I have no more time.
Okay, got it. Okay, so if we agree, right, based on what you just told me, is you don't have any more time to give him, it doesn't matter what he said. You've now reached this place where you have to do something different. Yes or no?
What's that? But how different?
I can
trust. Okay.
Hold on. Listen. I know. No, I want you to stay there. So listen, I'm not asking what the different is yet. You're getting ahead of me. Can we just agree that what you have been doing and what you have been waiting on isn't working? And so you're going to have to do something different. We don't know what the different is yet, but it cannot be what it is right now. Yeah?
That's true.
Okay. So we're going to do something. Okay. Got it. So we're going to do something different. So what do you think we should base our choice off of? If we're evaluating what the thing is that we need to do differently, what should we base that off of?
Facts.
Okay, so facts. Give me an example of a fact that you think is something that, like if you're considering what's going to happen, who you're going to vote for in the best interest of your farm, what is a fact that a candidate would have that would make that would be important to you in determining whether or not to vote for them?
Take away these damn tariffs. These damn tariffs are killing us.
The tariffs are killing you. Okay, got it. So when you think about tariffs and policies, who are the candidates that support tariffs? Who are the members of Congress right now for Oklahoma that have supported tariffs?
Governor Stitt, our current governor.
Okay, what about Congress?
Our current president.
Yep. Did your representatives in Congress also support tariffs?
They ain't doing worth a shit by my farm.
Right, but did they vote for them? Your Oklahoma senators and your Congress people.
I voted for all of them.
Okay, and they all voted.
When you said Thursday, I voted for all the son of a bitches.
And they all said yes to the tariffs. They all support the tariffs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one strike against all of them. What about the progressive candidates that are challenging them? Do the progressive candidates or the Democratic candidates, whatever label you want to put on them, do they support the tariffs?
No.
Okay, so then that's going to be one check mark on the side of your Democratic and progressive candidates. Okay, so we've taken one issue, one fact that you said is important to you, tariffs, and we've lined it up against the candidates. What's another thing that's important to you?
To be able to feed my family and my family being able to feed theirs.
Okay, so what do you think are the causes? So we know that tariffs have impacted cost, right? What else determines affordability?
The cost of produce, the cost of meat, the cost of anything connected with food.
So when we think about the current members that we have in Congress representing us, have any of them put forward legislation or policy initiatives that would either invite competition into the grocery market to help lower prices, or anything along those lines that might make your living and your ability to feed your family more affordable?
No, but we had a big meeting with the USDA, and then they're telling us a part of the reason why we're not having productive farm growth is the water. The water is bad here in Oklahoma, and they're not doing anything about it to fix it.
So they know that there's a water issue and they're not doing anything to fix it. Have you looked at your progressive or your Democratic candidates? Do they have any policies looking to address the water in Oklahoma?
Not really. I don't know them, so I haven't listened.
After Bella picked, it's my turn, and she picked another one again.
Bella, hey, it's her turn to pick something. I'm not kidding. All right, so here's what I would say. So since this is an unknown, because you don't know what their stance is, right? So what I would say next is we need to, and I'm happy to do this with you. When we get out of this meeting, let's go to their websites, or we can even call those progressive and Democratic candidates and ask them what is their position and what are their plans to address the water issue in Oklahoma. And if we do that, and they actually have a position and they have a plan, can you and I agree that that would be another check mark in the category of the progressive or the Democrat, and an X for the current person that's in office?
Definitely something to be considered, yes.
Okay, so this is my thing. I don't care. I'm not interested in labels, whether somebody's Republican, Democrat, progressive. I don't care if their label is part of the Barney Rubble party. I don't care, right? What I want to do is drill down on the things that are important in our day-to-day life, which are healthcare, education, housing, and economic mobility, which are all the things that you're describing to me. When we talk about tariffs, when we talk about being able to buy our groceries and feed our families, those are the policy things. And what I find is that we get distracted by big, scary words that we've been hearing about for 60 years in this country that have never actually threatened us, right? Not for the last half a century. And we have to vote on these things. Yeah?
Yeah, but Dani, here, but I don't want to say but. It's so ingrained.
Natasha, I am from East Tennessee. I know how ingrained it is.
Yeah, you are.
I am from East Tennessee. I am telling you that so here's the key. One, you don't let people pivot. You bring them right back. You bring them right back to the point. Okay, I hear you. We'll get there. But we got to answer this first, right?
Okay.
And so, and it's about, so I use this all the time and I say, it is literally an Easter egg hunt, Miss Natasha. I know where all the eggs are hidden because I know the answers to every question that I'm asking. Why? Because I'm going to Matlock that ass, right? I'm not asking a question I don't know the answer to. I know where the Easter eggs are hidden, but it's not fun if you just give everybody, if you were to take the people out, all of us have done this with children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews or friends or whatever. You've taken a child outside to go Easter egg hunting or scavenger hunt. What you don't do is take them outside and go get that yellow egg over there. Go get that blue egg over there. Go get that green egg over there, because there's no fun. But what you do is you guide them knowing, and you let them discover the egg for themselves. Even though they didn't discover shit, you led them to the egg. But because they found it for themselves, they now have ownership of it, and which means they are going to believe it. And so it's just a matter of it's asking the questions.
I was after I came out of that meeting, I was on a live with Titus. Well, Titus was in the comments, but I was in the live on Light Live. Petty Mom was on there, and she's kind of in your face like you, kind of with the detail. Don't give you the rice with no sugar, no butter, no gravy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And see, I'm in a different California politics and Missouri politics is so much different than Oklahoma. I'm not in my comfort zone in Oklahoma, but this is where my land is. This is where my property is. This is
So that is a story that you are telling yourself that doesn't serve you. That is a story that you are telling yourself that doesn't serve you, because the politics is the same everywhere you go. It's the same. It just shows up in a different way. Everywhere. It is healthcare, education, housing, economic mobility. Everywhere you go, it's the same thing. It's just going to show up different. I'm going to talk to farmers about economic mobility different than I'm going to talk to people in Detroit that are in car plants. But it's the same conversation. It's just showing up a different way.
You're right.
Yep. So change. So that mentality has a block for you, and it's not serving you. You're automatically like, Oklahoma's different. No, it ain't. Girl, they the same. They gotta eat. They gotta go to school. They want their kids to have good schooling. They want to have access to health care. They want to be able to afford their damn housing. They're the same. It just shows up different. An engine is an engine in a car. You just got to figure out how that car's engine works. Yeah, I know Melinda. Will and I both spoke at the same engagement in Southwest Virginia last year. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, I got about 5 pages of notes. And I want to figure out a way, especially with the women group, because you got when we break off into our brainstorming groups, when you get the wives away from their former husbands, sure, the conversation is different.
Of course it is. So here's what you do. I don't care if it's with the entire group or with your women's group. If you want me to show up via Zoom, if you want to bring a laptop up in there and have me on Zoom, I am happy to come to your folks and join you and have a conversation.
All right.
Okay, and that is open for everybody. Okay, so I'm dead ass about this. If you have a group of individuals, and you want me to have conversations with them, then you set it up. I'll join via Zoom, and we can do that. Yep, and bring speakers so they can hear in the back. Exactly.
Yes, because our thing is only 3. Everybody in the world got 5G, but ours is only 3G in this area. That's how it would go.
That's all right.
So, but okay, yeah, but it worked. Mine worked.
Girl, have somebody bring a little hotspot and join it. It'll be fine.
I got it.
Okay. You make it happen, and I'll show up.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All right.
In the comments.
All right.
I love you.
I love you. Bye. So, yeah, I mean, y'all, so it's literally about asking questions, listening for connection, and then building on that conversation. That's literally what it's about. It is about asking questions, listening for connection, and then building on that conversation. That's it. Okay. All right. So this is what I need to do. I need to feed these youngins because I sent lunch over with their mama, but they ended up not. You would have to. I don't care, Mad Hatter. Oh yeah, no, great. I'm never attached to the outcome. But so I need to go feed these kiddos, and I need to double check Mila. I need to look for her lab work. It was good to see everybody. Absolutely great to see everybody. It's been a minute. I don't expect to go live again this evening. I will go live tomorrow, but a little bit earlier than I did today, because tomorrow afternoon we are doing a family day with Toy Story 5 and some snacks and all of that. But I will be live tomorrow morning, probably around, 10 a.m., something like that, for a few hours. Okay. All right. I appreciate you all very much. Yes, we'll do, Veronica. Love you guys, mean it, and I will see you all later. Okay. Yep. Abu Siraj's battle is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. All right. Bye.